Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 2 and episode 2 of the Friends Watch Film podcast. Again, you are joined by Mitch, Todd, myself, Scott, Brandon, and Billiam. And we've got some more stuff for you guys this week. We hope you enjoyed last week's episode. And we're going to be bringing this out every Sunday from now on. So we hope you enjoy. We're going to start again with this week's episode with the questions, of course. Questiones. So these are a mixture of like online questions and also questions that people asked us from Instagram. We're going to start this side once again. If you want to set us off, Mitch.
So,
This better be a good one.
what if it's not?
Read.
It's to be
So
boring.
this MCU themed already.
MCU, let's
go.
go.
What was the worst and best MCU film?
Well, now.
Ant-Man 3 worst.
Hey?
Ant-Man 3
worst.
Do you know what the Quantum
That is a good shout.
That might be recency bias, but
Yeah.
I think in
it's
5
probably
years
still
that
up there.
still would be a
It's still,
contender.
it's still up.
I don't
Yeah.
think people are going to go 5 years and goes, you know what? Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that bad.
Great.
No one's
Yeah.
got it.
Do you know what? I actually like how
It's such a
MODOK
good film.
looks.
MODOK,
actually
MODOK.
looks
They didn't
quite
ruin
good.
Murdoch's law whatsoever.
It's just a
It's
giant
not a
egg.
Star Wars situation where they'll release worse films and then be like, hey, actually, that's really good.
Yeah.
This one wasn't as shit.
Literally.
Any other contenders for worst?
There's a few, but the names are escaping me because I have to think about every MCU film now.
Yeah, that
Is
was
it-
MCU, is it?
I assume this is not
No.
just a Marvel film. This is like the whole like Marvel.
This is our MCU.
MCU strictly.
just MCU. So yeah, not that. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk about.
Oh,
that
Thor
one.
Ragnarok's
That
up
one
there.
Yeah.
Not Ragnarok. No.
Whoa.
Love and Thunder.
Don't
Love and
quote.
Thunder.
Oh, sorry.
Love and
Yeah.
Thunder.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, Ragnarok's one of the bad ones. Whoops.
Yeah.
That hurt my
Jesus.
feelings.
Yeah.
man.
What about Noob Master 69?
New
Master 69.
No, Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
It's
one of
not a
the
film,
Okay.
but She-Hulk was
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
atrocious.
Yeah.
She-Hulk
I think
was-
it's
It is
worth
part
like,
of-
mentioning.
Yeah, it's part
So
of
it's
MCU.
part
Yeah,
of
but it's a
MCU, so
series
yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah.
They say it's film though.
Oh.
Best.
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 Ooh.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Original Guardians is up there.
I would say original.
Original
Guardians.
Guardians
Yeah.
is up there. I mean, Civil War's good. I really like Civil War. So I like Infinity War, Endgame.
I think
they're good as
Infinity
well.
War is
Yeah.
better than Endgame, and that's purely
Yes.
for the shock factor, because
Yeah.
I remember leaving the cinema just speechless, and that's
Yeah.
one of the few films
Yeah.
that
That's fair
have
enough.
been able
And then
to
we're
really
left a
do that.
year just like
I
nothing.
think.
Like it had a real lasting effect
Yeah.
afterwards.
I think Age of Ultron had so much more potential.
Yeah. It actually
Yeah.
upsets me what they did with
Yeah,
Ultron.
Ultron
so
could have been
much.
like. I think Ultron could have been so much better than Thanos. I think he still is, but like what they could have done with him, he could have been so much bigger than Thanos.
Yeah.
I won't say he's better than Thanos. I think he has the highest potential, but I think Thanos is purely better because he had more.
Oh
screen
yeah,
time,
yeah,
more
yeah.
development.
If they would have fleshed out,
That's
yeah,
what I mean,
if
if
they
they
would
would've
have
fleshed
fleshed
him
out,
out
yeah, the
more.
Ultron would have been more interesting.
You love Marvel films, don't you, Dad?
No, no. I've
Film
watched.
Bros.
I've watched a
Film
couple, but yeah, Marvel's not really my thing. It's more DC.
I mean,
that's fair enough.
DC,
I'm
yeah,
also the
yeah,
resident
DC.
hater in our group, aren't I?
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, Todd.
Questione.
Questione.
What's your name?
Oh, it's
Next
Nicky
one
Elfie going for it.
I'm doing an Edward Scissorhands
In-
here, right?
MCU. This is just a
please-
Marvel
No,
podcast
please.
now.
That's what I mean. It's going to be a Marvel podcast by the end of it.
Okay. Do you like animated movies or are they just for kids?
No, that's such a
Oh,
stupid question.
question.
I'm
no.
straight in the line for
You
Kung
are
Fu
a
Panda
buffoon.
4.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Best-
That second that releases, I'm in that line.
Best
I-
animation.
What is that?
I have huge fears for Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, I do as well. Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4. I have
Yeah,
huge
that's
fears
the one.
for it.
Do
Because
you?
it's going to be hyped up, because we're all going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so amazing.
I'm too
and
fair,
it
I
will
agree.
drop and be like, wow, that was god awful.
Well, there's that
Let's
one.
not watch
There's
that
that
There's
one
so much
actor
pressure on it.
that I'm really not a fan of.
You are?
She was in Shang-Chi.
I was thinking this earlier. I saw the
And
trailer
I'm
like I was
just-
watching
I
it
don't
again,
know
and I was
why.
like-
I'm just not a fan of her.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
And then
the-
her
yeah.
voice and her being one of the main characters,
I
I
was
think it's
thinking
gonna,
that.
I think it's gonna piss me off a little.
What do you think about
Personally-
Chameleon?
What about Megamind 2?
Hmm?
Megamind 2.
Megamind.
Two.
Oh no, that's gonna
Masterpiece.
flop.
I'm not. This is the first I'm hearing of
It's
it.
there's another
terrible.
Megamind.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
There's a trailer.
honestly.
Trailer's
You're
dropped.
saying
There's
that?
animation mistakes.
Dude.
There's like the backgrounds are terrible, and I'm pretty
Different
sure like
voice actor.
a lot of
It
the
looks-
Different voice actor.
Yeah.
It
Will
looks
Ferrell's
worse than like a
praising
Wii
them.
game.
Megamind is like-
2010.
It's
Yeah,
awful.
Do you know what I
Godly
think
level film.
is the best animation?
Hmm.
Over the Hedge.
Masterpiece.
I forgot about that movie.
But yeah, no.
Oh, the hedge is good.
Hammy.
Yeah, do you like animated films?
But I like
There's
the
plenty of
cookie.
animated films that are not made for kids that are
Yeah.
quite dark. So it depends on what genre they're going for.
Yeah,
It's not
I
a kids
mean-
film, and then it's just animated film.
I do get like not liking animation films as much. I'm in that sort of bracket. Of course, I don't mind them, but I feel like some films are just better live action.
Oh yeah, no, it
Personally.
just depends on the film.
But,
It's like Borderlands. Anyway,
Oh, no, here we go.
Save it.
save
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go next.
I'll do the Todd technique.
Had to throw it in there because I'm gonna rip through this film when I get a chance.
Yeah.
But Kevin Hart.
Shush.
Shut up.
Shush.
How do you choose which movie to watch? By the genre, the director, or the main star?
Netflix recommended.
I spent more time scrolling through Netflix than I have watching films. on
Yeah,
Netflix.
true.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes.
It depends on what film, really.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I think actors play a part in it. Because if you do like a certain actor, you're like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
see them
True, yeah.
play out this character, whatever. Of course, if you're a bit more of a film nut, then director is a big influence on what you sort of watch.
True.
And occasionally, just a film that's good. There's no other reason than like.
Yeah.
I
that
mean,
could be
it's
entertaining.
very subjective to person, really.
Yeah.
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 If anything, it's whether or not the genre, actor, or director is what turns me off the film. Because sometimes I see some actors and I'm like, I'm not
True.
watching
Yeah.
that.
No,
that's
that is
very
very
true,
true,
actually.
yeah.
Like, as soon as I see Adam Sandler's face, I'm like, no, I'm not doing
Aw.
this.
Whereas
No.
my girlfriend absolutely loves Adam Sandler.
No, you're on the podcast.
I love,
Every
I
single
love,
film.
I
Apart
love
from-
Grown Ups, that's about it.
Apart from she didn't like what's the one where it's
The Halloween one.
no,
Called The
it's,
Halloween.
no, it's called Don't Mess with like Sohan or something.
Oh,
like
don't mess
that.
with the Zohan.
She didn't like that one. I thought it was
I
quite
haven't
funny.
heard of
I don't think
can't
anybody liked that one.
Yeah.
lie.
No, just me then. Just me.
No, I have this thing where like I have a long list of films that I want to watch, and then I go to watch it, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this film. I want to watch something I've already watched 400 times.
No, yeah,
I'm the
you don't
opposite.
just go
I wish I
back to
was
it.
the opposite.
I can't rewatch films half the time. I get
Could
so
you not?
bored.
Can you
No.
not?
Unless I'm like actively like studying them or I want to take something from them.
Mm.
If I've watched it before, I'd
Mm.
rather just watch something new and
So
experience
I'm the
something new.
same.
I'm in
Yeah.
between,
Same.
like, I have certain comfort films that I can always
So-
rewatch,
yeah, yeah, so
but then
same.
for the most part, I couldn't rewatch most of the MCU, for
No, I
example.
couldn't. No.
To be fair, I love Marvel, but I haven't watched like an MCU film in quite a while.
See, I feel like with rewatching films, I couldn't like rewatch it once a week sort of thing. I'd like to give it a bit, so then
Yeah, same.
like because nothing's better than like rewatching a film and you forget certain like
Yeah,
plot
and
points,
you're
like,
oh, yeah.
and you're like, oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. So
True.
yeah, that's nice, but no, I think you make a good point, don't you?
Yeah.
Saying
I
like
watched
that
the-
can also
I
impact-
find more rewatchability in series and films.
Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
series
I-
are easy to rewatch.
If I could like binge watch a season like in a couple of hours, and I'd be like, that's
Well,
fine.
I mean, yeah, I'm in the middle of binge watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
And I've watched that countless amount of times.
Oh,
But
I've been
Same
on
with
Always
me in the
Sunny.
office though.
Hey?
I've
I
been
do
on
that.
Always Sunny.
Absolute yap show.
it's not.
No, Brooklyn
It's
Nine-Nine is
good.
amazing.
It falls off towards the later seasons, but it's still a
It
great
falls
show.
off, but it's yeah.
Season 5 is the best.
It is.
Speaking of TV shows, top 5 TV shows.
That's way too hard to narrow down.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah, that's a
The
good shout.
Office,
Spaced.
US one.
No.
Got to be US.
Isn't it about Office?
Oh, off, yeah.
Brooklyn
This
Nine-Nine.
isn't my top 5, but I'm
Nine-Nine.
purely prompting Mitch. Stranger Things.
Okay, be quiet.
Stranger Things, yeah.
How about I just don't give you the satisfaction?
Line of Duty.
I'd say Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Line of Duty.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Line of Duty.
Yeah.
I really like Prison Break actually, and I know not many people do like
I'm
it.
waiting for it.
I'm trying to think. There's a couple of ITV ones that are quite good.
The Bear.
The Bear.
Bear.
Last
Oh.
episode.
So
Really
there's
like
one with like David Tennant in it where it's like based on a true story. He plays a
Broadchurch.
no. It's a recent one. It's he plays a Russian secret
Oh,
agent, and he
yeah.
ends up like being poisoned or something.
Yeah.
Alright.
That one's quite good. That's
I can't
interesting.
remember what
That's
it's
what
called, but no, yeah, I've seen a clip
It's-
of him
it's
doing a Russian
on,
accent. I'm like, shit, that actually sounds quite good.
Yeah, I think it's on like ITVX or something.
I
Yeah.
already know that nobody likes this, but I
Just-
fucking love the Big Bang Theory.
I
Sorry,
can't
is it?
stand
I
it.
fucking love
Absolutely
it.
hate it.
I love the film.
Sort of coming back to what I just said, have any of you watched Gravity Falls?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
you just
you
made
know
me think
I
of
have, yeah.
Rick
Yeah,
and Morty.
like I think that's like the
Ooh, I don't
absolute
remember Rick and Morty.
perfect, coming back to animation, it's absolutely perfect for what can be a kid's show and really enjoyed by adults.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to think of TV shows, but like I'm trying to keep anime out of the list because
Oh.
then that's a whole other ballpark.
I mean,
True,
yeah,
because-
yeah.
Because I'm obsessed with Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty. I
I
also love
actually
Adventure
watched.
Time.
I
I
liked
started
early-
season 6 of Rick and Morty pretty recently,
Yeah.
and I kind of watched season 5 a few years ago, and then didn't really watch it.
Hmm.
Oh my god, that first episode was depressing.
Yeah, see, with Rick and Morty, I liked the early seasons, and I liked it when they were actually exploring like really in-depth topics and like
Yeah.
doing character development. But they just choose to do like these really stupid jokes half the time, and they won't explore their own like deeper plot lines, and they won't do it. They openly like said like
Yeah,
we
the
prefer-
fans have different
Yeah.
interests to
Mm.
the
The
writers at the
writers.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was more focused on like the story based aspects and like developing the characters, then yeah, it's a fucking great show because there's really great moments into it. But I don't know. I don't find the show funny, so when it's just trying to do like episodes that don't correlate to any character's development, and it's just like, stringing down.
Yeah,
That's
I get
fair.
that. I get that.
It's-
Next.
Next.
What worst acting performance you have seen, either TV or film?
Oh,
There's a few.
what was that film you watched recently?
Me.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to narrow that down.
the spy film.
Spy film.
Spy.
Oh,
I really
Argyle.
can't pick any out.
Argyle.
Wow, was someone terrible?
Who?
Horrendous.
Who?
Dua Lipa and
Dua
John
Lipa,
Cena.
John Cena.
I
and,
mean,
like-
John Cena's just
Argyle.
the same
Jackson
as
as well,
everyone.
isn't it?
I don't know. I think John Cena can play some roles quite well. He does Peacemaker quite well.
I just Peacemaker.
I just feel like he
That's
plays
the series
himself. He's another Vin Diesel. Is like everything's
Vin Diesel's family.
family.
Jason
Just when I
Statham.
see John Cena, I can't unsee him from WWE or Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like
It's like people you can't unsee when you see them in general.
Yeah,
like,
what was Dua Lipa then like actually? Because I only seen like clips in the trailer.
She was literally for like 5 minutes at the beginning where she was like an undercover spy. And it's just like a scene very heavily CGI'd of her riding a motorbike in Venice down some hills.
Oh.
And then she has to like pretend to die. And it looks like she like chokes on like like hot dog. It was,
Right.
It was so weird.
Okay.
okay.
It was a bit.
Is it like a king? Is it meant to be like a Kingsman?
Oh, it's made by the
film,
same
or-
director as Kingsman, yeah. And it's
Oh.
nowhere near it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, isn't the plot's like a author, and she's like
Yeah.
pre-telling all this stuff,
Doc.
isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I'm trying to think of like
question.
recent. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like recent performances.
Here he goes.
Oh, he's got a long one.
He's got a-
Is it Back to the
Sit
Future
back, lads.
question?
Oh yeah, go
Jesus.
back to the future. Jesus.
Yeah, okay. Is going to the movies too expensive? How much are you willing to pay to see a movie at the cinema? Will you pay more to see 3D, 4D, or an IMAX movie? That's 3 questions in one, you cheat.
Well,
Ollie, how many movies did you see last year?
What, in cinema or in
yeah,
general?
cinema.
I don't know in cinema. In general, I saw just under 800,
How
which is fun fact.
so I mean,
mental
I think
wise.
price-wise, it's a bit on the expensive side, but I'm personally happy paying a bit extra to have the cinema experience,
So am I.
especially with IMAX. However, I will not bother with 3D or 4D.
No, I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
because
about it.
it just
It's like
takes.
Screen X, that thing where it's like you've got the cinema screen in front of you, and then it goes like 2 at the other side.
Oh no,
Yeah.
see, it's just too much.
What? No, I don't
Or
care.
Shrek
Like-
in 4D in London.
I say that.
We said last week Oppenheimer. That's like the perfect
Yeah, that's
like
example
one of the
of
films you have
a
to watch
cinema
in
No, IMAX, yeah.
experience.
I
Yeah.
watched because I watched Oppenheimer in IMAX, and then recently I watched Interstellar in IMAX, and that
Yeah.
was like amazing.
Significantly like,
It's so much.
I
More.
Yeah.
feel like 3D and 4D films. It was like they've had their time. It was 10 years ago. It was
Yeah.
breaking the boundaries, but now it's like
more of a
no,
gimmick.
It's a bit
no
like
one
a time
cares.
gimmick
See,
now.
Yeah.
as someone who likes to like fully like properly watch films, having like 4D especially like things distracting you
Mm.
just takes you out of it.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Because
And
then you
then
realize that you're there.
3D as well, it gives you a headache.
I think the best part about cinema experience for me is when you're just fully immersed and like not aware of the surroundings, and then
exactly.
4D when you're
Mm.
aware
I do
of
think
that.
that like the cinema has a thing for where like say if you buy food there, and stuff,
Yeah, food
it's
is ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah, don't bother. Yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
why
It's just it's common misconception that like you've got to buy food from the cinema. You're not allowed to walk in with your own. I've
No.
seen
No.
plenty.
Oh,
of
you
I do it
can.
all the time.
Yeah.
like their own food.
like I used to.
There's one
We
back
do
at
not
home
promote
where I
this.
took like a whole McDonald's in there. And I had it under my coat. Really obvious, like that. Walking around.
They do like
They just looked at me.
And that
They
makes
didn't
you
say
look
it.
more suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just taking it.
Yeah.
It's got cheeseburger
But
hanging
like,
down.
he looked at me. He didn't say anything. He was like, "Oh,
You
can't-
walk past, they just get a whiff of
Yeah.
that McDonald's smell like.
a double quarter pounder and some fries.
Yeah.
It's
I
got
wonder
milkshake
how
when
much
you start.
Mackey's debris that cinema workers actually find on a daily basis.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, true.
loads, yeah.
Yeah, it's
The,
like-
it was like, because I used to like, whenever I went to cinema, I just went to Everyman. Because I used to love going to Everyman. But then I started going to Cineworld because I bought like one of the pass things.
Oh yeah.
And you get so much more like money out of it. Like, it's so much
Yeah.
worth it. Once you've been like twice, you paid for essentially going once.
Oh, okay, that's quite good. Then.
Yeah, I think like I paid 10
if
a
you have like a
month for it.
subscription, yeah.
It's so
yeah.
much better.
Yeah, it's like plus just the social aspect of it. It's better to like meet
Yeah.
up with your friends and go as a group and
Yeah,
of course.
enjoy it.
Especially if
Mm.
they've got like an arcade built into the
Yeah.
sides.
Oh,
yeah,
Have,
just
have like a
mess
piss around and stuff like that as well. So that's
Yeah.
I've
fun.
never been to a cinema with an arcade.
Really not?
Have you not?
What?
The Cineworld at Mum's Cross literally has a Hollywood Bowl in the side of it.
I've never realised that.
Yeah, and then it has a crazy golf next to it.
Didn't
Yeah.
We
realise
should probably
that
all
either.
go at some point.
And
Yeah.
York City Football
actually,
Club.
Last time I went was
Right.
like a year ago, but that was
They
literally
have
like
like
the last screening of Black Panther 2, and that was it.
Because there's only two Cineworlds in the UK that have the VIP thing.
Yeah.
There's London and ours.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did not
Only
realise
two
that.
in the
I
UK.
did not know that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's like it just depends on the year as well. Like when I'm at home, I watch like new releases constantly because like it's like £4. It's a 5-minute walk from my flat, so it's like
Yeah.
why wouldn't I go?
Yeah.
But when I'm in York, it's like I have to get the bus.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go, so it's more
Yeah,
of a pain.
I use my membership. I walk like half an hour to Cineworld.
Walk.
Still never gone to Cineworld.
Have you not?
No.
Really?
We
The
should
only
go
one in
Cineworld
York
actually.
haven't
I'm going
done.
to Cineworld tomorrow actually.
We can all go on a big
Wait,
group
watch it?
date.
Bob Marley.
I'm not excited for
I'm
that.
No,
watching the
no.
Bob Marley film. I'm just trying to watch as many things as possible.
Fair.
I've been going
Um,
through my backlog to be fair.
Yeah, true. There's some good things. There's Olivia. I fucking love Olivia Colman. There's Olivia Colman film coming out. I think it's called like something Letters Wrote or something.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that as well.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be funny. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
that.
no, it does look funny, that one.
Cool.
But yes, food is expensive at the cinema. Bring
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
Mackies.
Bring Mackies.
Bring
listen,
Mackies.
Listen to the Mackies man himself.
Yep.
Cool.
Give me in a job, please.
He'll give you a
Thanks,
discount.
Right. Going on to the second section now. I'm just going to whack these back in here. Just keep your questions for now. We'll get rid of them at the end. We're going to go on to the fact that in the last week, maybe 2 weeks or so, there's been quite a few trailers that have dropped for a few films. This man's going to cream already.
Sorry.
So we'll start with some things. Okay.
This is a PG podcast,
Is
thank you.
Is it hella
Just
PG?
swore multiple
I was gonna say,
times.
is it hella PG podcast? First
Until
one.
Mitch starts talking about Borderlands.
Yeah, true. We'll start with like the ones we don't really care about as such, and then we'll get into the bigger ones.
Yeah.
First one is Wicked. That
Wicked.
came out.
Mhm.
So redoing Wizard of Oz again.
Again.
Again,
Do they need to?
20
No.
times.
No.
No.
I'm a big musical theatre person. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
We don't need it. It looks shit. Why is Ariana Grande in it?
Yeah, when I saw
That's
her,
such
I'm
a
like,
weird
I'm
casting.
sorry, what?
No.
Is she the witch?
She's the.
She's Glenda.
Yeah.
Should have been the witch.
No, she's the cowardly lion.
Yeah.
Another thing, like, with like big name casting,
Yeah.
I can't.
just a
We were
Wonka.
wrong about Timothy Chalamet. He's so good as Wonka, but I can't unsee Ariana Grande in that.
Yeah.
No,
At
exactly.
all.
Like,
It's
yeah.
more that Timothy Chalamet is an actor.
Yeah.
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 No, see, yeah, when you have
Yeah.
like someone
Yeah.
like Dua Lipa
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Lady
Or like
Gaga
Rita
with the
Ora.
Joker or
Rita
Kanye
Ora, the
West
Fast
as
and
the
Furious.
robot.
What was that about?
Kanye is the-
no, like
Yeah.
yeah, there's certain like
Not Tim, man.
celebrities that you just
Plus,
you see them as that celebrity. You don't.
Wizard
see
of
them
Oz
as
is a very
character.
like controversial film subject anyway because of like how they made the
Production.
original
Oh, the
production of the
original,
trilogy.
Yeah, when they accidentally set someone on
On
fire with
fire.
the makeup, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sprinkle a bit of asbestos.
even despite that, it's still
Literally.
it's a weird film because it's historically important in two aspects. One, it was like the obviously the production wasn't the best, and then it was like one of the first films in color,
Yeah.
which is like really
Really
important.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Highlight
It's
a lot
a
of the issues.
1930s film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we had Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
shall be watching that.
See, I actually haven't got around to watching those yet,
Have you
but
not?
they looked
They're
really
alright.
good.
They're good
Like-
films.
And
Good
obviously,
films.
this one that's coming out is meant to be a prequel. That's
Yeah,
so you
like
can't
set
watch it,
before.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
whether I get a time to watch the Quiet Place movies before or not, I don't think I'll matter too much. I'll still
No.
probably watch that one.
The
Yeah.
first
It does
one's
look really good.
probably still the best. I
Yeah.
think second was a bit
bit,
underwhelming. Like it became way too action packed.
Yeah. They just tried to ram it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like John Krasinski as well. And I
Mm.
think it'd be really interesting to probably watch something he's directed.
True.
But yeah, it's good.
Not a trailer, but recently released the new Fantastic Four. Yep.
Yeah,
The casting
so
for
the
Fantastic
casting.
Four.
Yeah, the casting for that is out. So for I forget the character's name.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
I love Pedro Pascal, but not now.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Pedro, but
It's not that I don't think he'll do a good job. It's that I wish there was other people that were doing it instead.
Yeah, like Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck- shut the fuck
exactly.
up.
Or Kevin
No.
Hart.
And Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things.
yeah, I
Eddie
think that's
Wilson.
okay. That,
I like that.
casting's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Was he just playing the thing
The thing is the guy from The Bear.
from the Bear? Yeah.
The brother from The
Dwayne
Bear.
the Rock
Johnson.
Oh,
Right.
as in the guy from Walking Dead. The guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Actually, that's not a bad casting.
No, I
to
think
be
that's
fair.
right.
I
Actually,
can't remember who it was who was playing Invisible Girl.
who plays? Yeah,
I remember.
I recognize.
Oh no,
it,
you
though.
can't see her.
Yeah. Oh,
Can honestly say I've never watched a Fantastic Four.
have you not?
Really?
They literally like released 2005,
Yep.
2015, and then 2025.
See, it's because they
Oh,
realised
yeah.
you never saw
Every
one.
10 years.
Why is it every 10 years?
Because they're trying to make money, Todd.
Is it?
But
because
yeah,
there's only 4
one
films
thing I
and-
found interesting about the casting picture showing off, it was very stylized. It was like was it like 60s stylized or something like that? So
It gave me like One Division vibes, kind of.
yeah. So are they setting it then,
I don't know.
or
Have they said anything about the plot? Or
No.
is it
No,
just
they
it's
haven't.
just
They
the
literally
So-
just is the
film?
cast.
I assume there must be a reason behind that stylistic choice. So it'd just be interesting because obviously, as it's going to be part of the MCU, how it's going to fit in.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Pedro Pascal, I believe it should be Penn Badgley. That's what I was saying to these before. But
I like them.
hey,
I
Do you
mean,
think Fantastic Four as a whole in the MCU will sort of kickstart this next
A
phase that they're
renaissance.
after?
No, I
Or-
think
I think that's more an
Deadpool.
X-Men.
I think
thing.
Deadpool
and
will.
X-Men.
Uh,
So speaking of it,
Deadpool.
I was sat in our university library doing my essay, and I saw on Twitter that it came out, and I screamed. I watched it and I
What a fucking
screamed.
loser.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited!
yeah.
It's so good. I love Deadpool.
No, I
Oh,
can't
look
wait
at me.
for it.
I'm a
I can't
character,
wait
but
for
I'm
it.
meta. I was like, ooh.
Well, I
It's
mean,
so
yeah, that's
good.
Deadpool's gimmick. But that's always
That's
been
the
like,
thing,
even in
that's the
comics.
point.
No, I feel like as much as Ryan Reynolds, his other roles he's done aren't that great. If I'm honest, he just suits
He is
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
He is Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's so
And
good.
then obviously Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine.
Yes.
In a comic accurate suit, can I just say? as
Yeah,
well?
Yeah.
the comic, the
Um,
suit is just.
We only saw the suit like briefly. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's already better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And they teased him in the trailer. Like they just showed the slight of a shadow of him at the
Yeah.
end.
I hope it's good.
No, they
It's
showed
so
him more
dark.
than Shadow. He like walked up, didn't he? And you can see his suit. You can see him from the back.
Oh, fair enough.
Like, yeah, I'm hyped for the movie. I just don't want to be
TVA.
disappointed. TVA as well, yeah. Like,
They've included like him officially into the MCU now.
Mhm.
They did the TVA show from like Loki, and they basically showed him like all of the Avengers stuff, and was like,
Captain
yeah, he seems Captain America, and so now he's officially part of the MCU, which means that the MCU and X-Men are now finally together.
Mhm.
They're not a separate thing.
Why were they separate things anyway?
Copyright issue.
Copyright issues.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
how like Spider-Man wasn't introduced for such
Yeah,
a long
for
time
Sony
because
and
of
stuff.
Sony.
Okay.
So now they're finally a thing. And
yeah.
I love how it's Deadpool who made them a thing.
Wait till this becomes a thing with Disney and Mickey Mouse.
Oh god.
Uh,
But yeah, so I'm very excited for that. I think a lot of people are saying at the minute like this is what's going to save the MCU and this is what's going to do this. I don't know if it will.
It's going to need a lot more than
It's
that.
going to
to
need a
be
lot more than
successful.
that. But I think it's just
I
going
mean, in
gonna be a good
terms of the
film.
trailer, it broke the record.
Literally.
It beat No Way Home for the most
Just
views
views.
within
24
24 hours.
hours.
Yeah.
It's
So
like the first time everyone's been majorly excited for a film.
Film,
Because
yeah.
a lot of the time people see the films, it's like, and then you don't
Yeah.
watch it.
yeah.
I
So
think it'll make people more excited for films coming out. It won't necessarily save MCU.
just watch it be shit.
Yeah.
Watch
What
it be
was,
shit.
what was the most recent stinker? Wasn't it the Marvels?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Marvels,
Yeah.
yeah, awful,
Yeah.
awful.
Fun times.
But,
Going on to the last part of trailers.
mhm.
Yesterday, they released Borderlands
Mm.
for the poster.
Take it away.
The
That's
trailer,
dog-ass,
the
bro.
trailer for
Mixed
Borderlands
signals.
comes out today. I haven't watched it yet because I know it's out or not yet.
So dog ass.
Right.
So
Mitch is
the
crying.
casting looked like a GTA lobby in every sense.
Absolutely awful.
Why? Wait, I love Jack Black. Why are you in Borderlands? Why?
No, I think
Why
he's
is
the
it-
only person who
Why
can
is it
actually
Kung Fu
like
Panda?
play in
Yeah.
a Borderlands film, to be honest.
Do you know what? That's so.
But the issue
Kevin
is,
Hart.
but the issue is like, why did you waste him there when you could have just got one of Claptrap's actual voice actors?
Literally.
It's like that's weird.
It's
And then-
such
It's the
a-
same as the Mario one. It's like they didn't even use like
The original voice actor.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they did.
Wait, yeah, it
No,
was
but
like a
as in
little
not,
cameo.
not for
For
like
the main
actual,
character,
yeah.
Yeah.
not from
cameo.
actual Mario, was it?
They explained that though, to
Yeah.
be fair, in the film,
Mm.
because apparently the voice that we're used to was only for like their adverts for their company.
Ah,
So
fair
that's why he has that like Brooklyn accent for the rest of the film.
Oh, right.
I mean, if,
He's Italian plumber, but he's American.
I obviously haven't seen the trailer fully, but I like the main thing with Borderlands for me is the way you look at it, like the art style of it.
Mm.
I want the film to be like that.
Yeah,
It
from,
needs to be
from
like
what I've
that.
seen, I don't think I'm
It's
gonna
not.
do that.
it's not self shaded, but like the main issue I have is that Borderlands writing, especially in the most recent game, Tales of the Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, has been absolute dog ass.
Yeah.
And then even when you play 1 and 2, it's not particularly the stories you play them for, except for maybe 2, like Handsome Jack and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's the gameplay loop that you play Borderlands for. Like, if you're playing for just the story, you're going to be disappointed. So trying to make a film based off a story of a game where the story's the main focus.
Yeah.
It's a bit,
Yeah, true.
I
like-
thought, sorry, visually from what I've seen, it looked very similar to the
I was literally just
Yeah.
about to say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Doesn't
Never
it?
thought that.
I think it's going to be like that.
I think
Dungeons
I don't know if it
Dragons,
was just the colors or something, but it just seemed to give off the
Dungeons-
vibes of that movie.
Dungeons-
the costumes also just, don't look right. Because I saw Krieg and I was like, why does he look like he's playing a cosplayer of Krieg? And
No,
it's not
yeah,
Krieg.
yeah.
Like, it's just, and then
I mean,
like the
did it
hairs.
just-
The hair is just obviously
Obviously
fake. It's
fake.
really weird. It's
Yeah.
like it's like the child performing cosplay. It's like actual like
It literally is like it's cosplay.
yeah. It's just weird, man. It's
Yeah,
like
so that's gonna be.
I think
Yeah,
I think
it's
it'll
gonna
be
be,
a flop. I think it'll be interesting. Yeah.
it's
It'll
just
be interesting to see everyone's opinions.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna get Reddit's gonna have a field day.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw the film poster, and I saw it from the director of Venom and Uncharted. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
no.
actually Joe.
This is all- Oh, God.
Turns off trailer.
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay. We're now going to be going into the hot take section. Basically, we asked you guys for any questions you might have, and we did that earlier on. And now we're going to go into the hot takes. Here, I've picked just 5 random hot takes from what people have sent in. Some are very interesting, some are a bit weird. We're going to go into it.
I think it's worth noting that in the actual listing, we called this abuse people.
You actually
yes,
did, yes.
yes.
I prefer
Abused.
my take
This is where we
medium
just
rare.
say everyone's opinions are wrong.
Because they are.
this is for the masochists out there.
Yes.
So we're going to go through each individual thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to, we'll go through a few actually, because I don't think some of them are going to take that long.
Yeah.
And the last one I think we'll get us into another section as well.
Okay.
So first one is about the Joker.
Joker.
Okay.
Somebody said Joker is the most overrated comic book / superhero film of all time, and it shouldn't have won as many Oscars as it did. And instead, Endgame should have won the Best Picture, not
As
the
in-
Joker.
So we're talking about Joker as in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I don't think
agree?
the film's as good as it's made out to be.
No.
I
I'm
think
ex-
the
I'm
statement
excited.
about Endgame is wrong.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you not think Endgame should have got Best Picture? I don't think it should have got
What
Best
else was
Picture.
running for it?
Oh,
It was
God,
Endgame,
there's Oscars.
Joker.
What year was this? 2019.
2019, yeah.
2019.
Because I thought they were both
Marriage
quite...
Story.
Marriage Story. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Film.
that was a way more interesting
Yeah.
film.
Marriage Story was good.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the one coming up, just because I like the character, and I'm interested to see what they do with Harley Quinn, because I love Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence about how Lady Gaga's going to be.
Same.
But I'm open to it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's quite a good, quite a respectable take. Because
Yeah.
if they said like Joker as a character is very overrated, then it's like a bit. But
Yeah.
the film, yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's completely
Yeah,
character.
the
if
film,
you're talking
yeah.
about the film.
I mean, I think it's a brilliant film, but yeah, the amount of hype and stuff around it was a lot.
I mean, I think a lot of the reason why it got so big as well was because of the controversy.
Controversy.
Because it definitely fueled a bit of an incel movement for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to another one. Sonic, as in Sonic the Hedgehog, is
Okay.
the best animated film ever made.
All right, dog ass.
No.
Complete dog ass take.
No.
Actual troglodyte. Who
Who
let
let
troglodyte on the keyboard?
What's the name?
Oh god, I don't think we.
Where do they live?
Troglodyte on the
As
keyboard.
already
What they're gonna
stated,
type?
Over the hedge.
Oh, the
Best
hedge.
animation.
Well, have they not watched the Mario one?
Ooh.
But they're both
joking, I'm
just.
not.
They're both just.
Nah, they don't
Nah.
believe that.
No.
They purposely thought
Yeah.
what's something that's going to cause reaction. You don't believe that.
If you do believe that, please seek help.
You're-
King of the
We'll
Hill
pay
is the
you to seek
greatest
help.
anime ever.
Oh god.
Thanks, Luffy from One Piece. No problem. King
Yes.
of the Hill.
Next take is X-Men shouldn't be in the MCU.
I disagree.
Disagree.
Because
Why?
if they're going to go down the Marvel route, of course they have to include everything.
Is there a reason, or is it just that statement?
That's just that statement.
Alright,
You
back
can't
it up
have
next time.
Wolverine not in the MCU.
I think
Wrong.
because of
Wrong.
yeah, sorry, because of what's it called? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, I should know. As an MCU fan, the Avengers film that's coming out of blanked. 2026 Secret Wars, yeah.
There you
Because
go.
of Secret Wars, I think they definitely need to.
Yes, yeah, because I mean,
Secret Wars as an idea is more exciting for me than Endgame.
if
and I
they,
love Magneto, man.
if they want it to be comic
I love MODOK.
accurate, they have to include X-Men. They can't just be so specific.
Can we
With,
not talk about MODOK?
Yeah, whoever left that take, can you put your reasoning? Because I
Yeah.
really want to know your reasoning.
yeah.
Yeah, DM me privately.
Yeah.
Go on.
My number is 07.
The next one is Halloween should have never been a franchise.
We all look at Mitch.
Yeah,
so
what are you
we
looking at
all-
me for?
It's
I've not watched it.
Well, because
I don't think it
the
should be.
original plan for Halloween was that it was meant to be a set of different films. So it's
Yeah.
meant to be. So if you look at all the films, Halloween 3 stands out the most because it's nothing like any of the Halloween films. Why? Because the original, I think what John Carpenter wanted to go for it was for each installment of Halloween, it'd be a different film.
Yeah.
However, Michael Myers became
Too popular.
They give him too
Yeah,
popular.
became Michael Myers, not Mike Myers. He's
Death of
Shrek.
an author.
He,
I
became,
wish
he,
you'd cross
he
that
became so popular that they were like, all right, we'll try and make a sequel to it. That's hence Halloween 2.
Yeah.
With Halloween 3, that's actually what the original film plan was for them to go into this kind of like different, kind of anthology-esque,
Yeah.
so with the mask and stuff. And if you watch a certain TV program, your head will like turn to bugs.
Yeah.
But because people didn't like that, they went, and it wasn't Halloween 3 wasn't that good. They're kind of like, we'll stick to Michael or make money. It's nice. I like money.
I love horror. I'm much more of a Freddy Krueger person than I am a Mike Myers.
See, I'm more of a Jason Voorhees kind of guy.
Yeah. Mike
I'm a
Myers,
Shining guy.
I love, but like for a thing that
I
I'm
like
doing for
Freddy.
uni,
Leatherface.
we're looking into horror and like stereotypes within horror. And the example that we used was Halloween and how it's just like the most over sexualized
It is.
like thing possible.
is,
Like it's
yeah.
such a stereotypical thing of like women and stuff, and I hate it.
You know what one of the best slashes is? It's the granddaddy of them all, Texas.
Texas, yes.
Texas, our boy.
Texas, yes.
Yeah, I do.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I agree with Halloween not shouldn't have been a franchise.
No,
'Cause,
I
like,
don't think it
there's
should've.
nothing really special
I
about
don't
it.
like.
though,
I like the character. It's all right,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's got anything special about him.
Business
What's
wise,
better,
you get why.
Texas 1 or Texas 2?
Texas
One. Yeah.
I heard quite a good few things.
What
about
about Back to the
Texas 2.
Future? 1 or 2 or 3?
Oh, Back to the Future.
Let's
you
not.
Mean, you mean mid 1, mid 2?
Okay,
let's not do
anyway,
this.
anyway.
I've watched them now, and now I know they are
Okay.
mid.
Next take.
Okay.
So not the worst, middle.
Right,
This
okay,
is-
I'll watch them, and now yes.
This is the take of all takes. Are we ready?
Okay.
It's not at all, but it's just because I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine and so do
Okay,
you.
that's a
Ooh,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine too,
oh,
okay.
it's just
Die
gonna be
Hard
like-
is a Christmas film.
Why are you looking at me?
Everyone's always like,
There's this common debate
You're
of
just in my
because
zone.
it's set at Christmas.
It's
is
not
it
a Christmas film.
Yeah, but in narrative, like the Christmas doesn't play a single bit.
No, it's not a Christmas film.
I'd say it's not. I get people argue, oh, it was very Christmas
I fucking
time, so
love
that's
Die
why it's
Hard.
Christmas. But if it's not heavily like,
Oh, Christmas, Christmas.
yeah,
this,
Christmas is
that.
like the center of the plot,
No.
then it's a Christmas movie. Otherwise,
I think it's funny.
I mean, Home Alone is a Christmas film, and that's still played at Easter. So how does that work?
I mean, there's people
Yeah.
who watch the Harry Potter films on Christmas for some reason.
Yeah,
Right,
true.
right.
And Harry Potter's crap.
Yeah, there's
so-
like a small kid.
I knew
Oh,
that.
you're mind of the earth here.
true.
I'm
There's
joking.
no need
I
for
Every
love
that.
Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter.
film
Dead in
has
York
like
Road.
one hint of Christmas in it,
They do,
which as a Harry Potter fan feels quite homely to me, but
Yeah.
it's not a Christmas film in any sense
No.
because of that.
I feel like families will just have their own like Christmas tradition and what films
Yeah.
they
Oh,
watch.
yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
on ITV in the lead up from October to
Literally
December,
October.
it's
Yeah.
literally
It's
just Harry
Christmas film.
Potter.
It's literally
Yeah.
Harry Potter. Like,
Literally.
all
Or
the
James
time.
Bond.
No.
Oh, James Bond.
See,
yeah.
Just James Bond.
I guess
that.
could that be
Right.
how Die Hard sort of falling into that category because it's somewhat it has a Christmas like time set, so therefore people just
Yeah.
naturally watch it around Christmas as like a traditional sort of thing.
Like, I don't think it was released as a Christmas. I think it just released so happened to like a Christmas backdrop,
Yeah.
and then people kind of link the two together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
true.
is fine.
I mean, it's helped fuel the movie and help it gain popularity. So.
What is everyone's favorite Christmas film?
Probably Home Alone.
Can't wait for
First
I
one.
can't wait for the yearly Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween or Christmas film. Can't wait for that.
First of all, Night Before Christmas isn't a Christmas film. Fuck you for say that. Second of all, Night Before Christmas
It's
is a
got
genius film,
Christmas in the title.
and it's about the nightmare before Christmas. It's about Halloween. Third,
Why is it?
my
why do
favorite
people
Christmas
shit
film
on
is a
Christmas?
film that
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
ever watches, and it's called All I Want for Christmas, and it was released in 1998. And it's about a mouse, and I fucking love it.
You know what's
About a
slept on?
mouse.
After
Yep.
Christmas. That's slept on.
After
Christmas.
Christmas.
After-
After Christmas, this is like generally slept on.
Oh, James McAvoy. Oh, such a good film.
Justin
actually.
Bieber.
What?
Okay.
What?
Justin
I'm just
Bieber
going
in
to say
After
Polar
Christmas.
Express.
Why?
Oh,
I
The-
used to
the
be
song. Used to the song.
terrified of that film.
What,
Polar Express.
Pardon?
I used to be
Oh,
terrified.
it just feels quite creepy and uncomfortable
There's no-
throughout.
it was
but I
uncanny.
really-
It's how the
I
people
didn't
look.
mind
Yeah.
it. It was just the one scene where like the guy when he's on top of the train.
Yes.
It gets his beard caught in the front of the
Oh, yeah,
train. That
yeah.
terrified me as a kid. I hated it.
It's funny.
No, it's
It's the
not.
way he's
It's like he
screaming.
screams, like the
Yeah.
howl. I was like, oh no.
Ow!
The whole sort of pacing is quite unsettling as well.
Yeah.
It's just because it was a very early, like, I think it had, like, production issues, so, like,
Yeah.
nothing was properly rendered, so when you look at the people, they look really really uncanny up close.
See, and
I
one,
do love
one
it
thing
though.
I did
Oh, yeah.
really find interesting about the movie is the fact that Tom Hanks
Like I
did
said,
like almost
Or is it
all the
voices and stuff. He's with so
no,
many
not the
characters.
voices. It's it was the what's it called?
Animation.
Oh,
Mocap.
Motion capture.
Motion capture, yeah.
He did like for over half the
Cast.
cast. He was the motion capture for
he
it.
did the thing as well for like. So do you know that it's the conductor? The
Mhm.
people who were dancing, he did different separate dance moves for each person that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
dancing as
yeah.
well.
And then he
You
did
really
all the
wanted that
mocap.
film,
for-
Yeah, he wanted that film.
He did all the mocap for the main kid in it as well. And there was a couple of others. But yeah, I just found that was super interesting and it's actually a very clever way to save money.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's hard to
Just have one actor, but pay him a lot more for.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it probably still would have been cheaper than hiring,
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, true.
you know,
'Cause
all
I'm,
these different people.
I'm doing my diss on like something that's about that.
Yeah.
About like how acting has changed now that the technology's changed potentially, and like how much effort you've got to put into like motion capture and stuff compared
God,
to
yeah.
like how you connect with other people. And like I watched Benedict Cumberbatch when he did Smaug.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
Cumberbatch.
yeah, yeah.
Cucumber. And like when he did that, he tried to like save as much time as he possibly could doing that, and he'd just do like a full like nearly 24 hours of recording because they didn't have to do it in those different bits.
Yeah.
And it saves so much time and so much money.
I love Benedict Cumberbatch when he's doing the mocap for Smell.
Yeah, it's so good. Next one, we have two more. Next one is Stranger Things is the worst thing ever made.
It's okay, right? It's not the worst thing ever
That's
made, but I
hard.
do agree it's overrated. But
It's overrated,
Overrated.
yeah, but it's still good.
Brandon, thoughts?
Like,
I
it's-
also
it's-
don't think it's overrated. I think it's rated very fairly.
No, it's not.
I think
Especially no, this
I think
newest
season.
season.
This is what I was going to say. Season
overrated
4
as
is overrated.
fuck. Like, don't
Three
get
is
me
the
wrong, it's
best.
good.
3 is the best. 3 should be more rated. Such a good season.
Season 3 was like the one with like the whole Russian subplot.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
See, I hated that.
I think it's just such an iconic
I
thing.
thought
now.
it was quite good.
I think at the start it just has like the characters are all in themselves.
Yeah,
at
like
the
they're
start.
finally like where they should be.
Yeah.
I just think the whole plot was like blown out of proportion. Because if you watch season 1, it's like, oh, it's like a 80s themed like horror thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, now it's a Russian subplot, and the whole
Yeah.
world is.
A lot of fans are very impressionable from Stranger Things, though.
Yeah.
True. That's very true.
Have you seen like those like really like awful clips from like TikTok where people are like giving tips to how to manage to watch an entire Stranger Things episode because their attention span is so
Oh
bad?
no.
It's so funny.
Oh,
Well,
Rather
I am
just
excited.
Subway
give up and not
Surfers
watch it at
underneath.
all, then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when
GTA races.
when I first started watching Stranger Things, I remember I watched the first season with episode 1, 2, and I thought it was like crap. It was like the shittiest thing
I
I'd ever
thought so
watched.
as well.
You have to like stick with it to understand
Oh
it
yeah, you
fully.
have to stick
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
What do you
And-
think the sticking point in season 1 is? There's a point
Uh,
because I think
well-
everyone finds that it starts quite slow.
Yes.
Yeah. Will Byers trying to get through a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you're like, well, this is a bit different. This is a bit weird. Maybe I will watch it.
Mm.
But I think the characters are sort of like you. It feels like one of those stereotypical things where it's like, oh, we're in a high school, and Steve's the jockey character, and like Mike and his sister are like this character, and then when you get to season 2, you're sort of like, oh, they understand each other a bit more. They're all like a family, and then 3, they're all the characters, and then 4 is just a bit like, I don't get why you made it.
See,
Well,
Vecna's just
season
from-
4 just took quite a horror.
Oh,
sort
it
of
went
stance.
full in.
It
for-
went, yeah, full deep.
Yeah, it was like, oh, Vecna, we're just gonna get him to kill everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
the whole Max storyline in season 4 is an analogy for depression.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I do like Max as a character though.
Yeah.
I really like Max as a character.
it's one of those franchises though I think people are going to get sick of because they're really trying to like milk it. Because have you
Yeah.
seen the amount of game crossovers they've done?
Oh yeah.
Like Dead by Daylight makes sense. Why is it in a MOBA? Like, did you know you can play Hopper in Smite?
Can you?
What the fuck?
So you can play
Demo
as-
dog.
No, look, I'm not joking. You play as 11, the Mind Flayer, Hopper, and a Demogorgon in a MOBA. It's so
Really?
weird.
That's weird.
Jesus.
Is it a Simpsons couch gag yet?
It probably is if we
No,
looked at it.
genuinely, yeah.
It probably is. I think.
Oh god.
Or they would have had something like Vecna.
Vecna. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, it does link with like the D&D stuff, I guess.
Yeah. But
Yeah. I think it's alright though.
it's alright. It's just as they've come out, they've just got more and more.
I think Eddie's the most
overhyped.
overrated character though.
Oh,
by
so
far.
much, man. Like,
Alexi is
he's-
the best character.
Alexi is the best character. Justice for Alexi. Okay, the last hot take and is nowhere near right. If you think this is not an opinion, you are wrong. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. Yeah, no. Anyway, move on.
Move up.
I think that's enough of that. No.
You no, by far no. Andrew Garfield is number 1 for me, and then Tobey Maguire, and then Tom Holland.
Yep.
I think even though there is the argument of like who plays the best Peter Parker and the best
Peter
Spider-Man is
Spider.
different.
And we sort of went into it in the first episode as well. didn't
Yeah.
That
we?
never got released.
Right,
Never
one
released.
potential backing for Tom Holland, and this is more out of him being casted, is that he's actually a teenager.
Yes, I agree with that.
I mean,
yeah.
Tom has the advantage of he's going to get more films to actually flesh out his character.
Yeah, because a lot
Yeah.
of people said that he looks a bit more comic book accurate.
Yeah.
What I think Tom Holland looked the best as like Peter Parker, it was literally in Civil War.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Because he was just
Yeah.
so like childlike then, and it just fit that.
Even though I love Peter Parker, Miles Morales is my favorite Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like anything Spider-Verse related,
Mm-hmm.
obsessed. But in terms of like not that,
Spider-Punk as well.
Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
Got
Who
Spider-Punk.
voices Spider-Punk?
It's,
Who voices Spider-Punk?
I do know.
Is
his
it
name,
Daniel
though.
Chalon?
I think it might be.
yes. No, that name
Yeah,
rings a bell.
yes.
What's his last name?
I think it is. Yeah. Spider-Punk, beautiful.
Yeah.
We spoke about this before. Like, he's the only character in Across the Spider-Verse who is filmed on 3s rather than 2s, and it's just so cool how they can do so many different concepts with one film. Like the art be all different, and like Gwen, whenever she's like sad in her world, she like the mood around her, the colors around her change,
Yes.
and it's so cool. And I cannot wait. That is the film I'm most excited for this year.
Yeah. Oh, without a
Cannot
doubt.
wait, without a doubt.
I think my main issue with Tom Holland is, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when I read like the Spider-Man comics, the games and stuff like that, I think Spider-Man's at his best when Peter Parker is an absolute loser, and despite all the stuff he goes
Yeah.
through, he's still like, doing what's best for everyone and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
then I think Tom Holland is just, as Peter Parker, too perfect. Like
I can see
handsome,
that.
he's
Mm.
really smart. Like he doesn't get actively bullied. Like
Yeah.
he's just like the golden child who
Yeah.
happens to be, Spider-Man. I think
Yeah.
it's better when Peter Parker, he's going for like
He's
all
a
the
proper
stuff.
loser.
I
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
And despite
Tobey Maguire.
yeah,
He literally, yeah.
and despite how badly the world treats him, he's still,
I
Spider-Man.
agree with that.
I think
I-
Plus,
is
like
his
Tom
character.
Holland trilogy, like the fucking Flash version in that is awful.
I was gonna say like
Like, Flash is meant to be a bully, and he's
Yeah.
just this.
because there's some like I grew up watching all of the different animated Spider-Man, like Ultimate Spider-Man and stuff, and in that there's a thing where Flash Thompson's the Rhino, and he bullies him, like proper bullies him,
Mm.
and he's just himself still. He's still like a loser, and that's like the
Yeah.
best version of him. I agree with that. But on that note, somewhat to do with that, Madam Web, literally,
Masterpiece.
like Oppenheimer has nothing on Madam Web.
It,
I went to see Madam Web. I walked out.
It's amazing that Madam Morbius has the bigger revenue. Another
Mate.
Morbius W.
Oh, the fact Morbius has
One for the collection.
And
bigger.
it's a significant amount as well.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Like, isn't Madam Web currently on 17 million, whilst Morbius sat at 30?
million.
I like this notion that do you remember when Morbius was released? It obviously it flopped quite badly, and then there were so many memes about it that Sony were like, "Oh, maybe they're talking about it so much, we'll release it again and make money."
Yeah.
And then no one watched it again when they re-released it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So now people are convincing themselves if we talk about it enough about Madam Web, we'll re-release it, then it'll flop
Yeah.
again.
yeah.
But topless Matt Smith.
Re-release it.
But topless Matt Smith.
Sony films are like a complete flip. It's either one of the best things you've ever seen or it's dog ass.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Love Matt Smith.
Like when watching the trailer for Madam Web, I immediately thought like it's either going to be like strangely good or just shocking.
And it was
It's-
shocking.
And it was shocking. I wasn't that
The one
surprised.
clip that I've seen relentlessly go around online is the one where Dakota Johnson's going towards a car to try and
Yeah.
save some people in, but it's cut really awkwardly. Where so the shot literally is she's just back into the car from her side, from the side of the car. Obviously there's no visual, but she comes in from the side of the car, and then the very next shot is like she's almost like on her back immediately.
Yeah.
And she
there's
looks like she's
no
saving
kind of-
herself.
They try and be so funny all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It does not
So
work.
quirky.
And
They're
then
quirky.
apparently
MCU writing.
dialogue was garbage.
Yeah.
Editing was very strange.
Yeah.
What's weird as well is that
Have
Have you
Madam
watched it?
No, I've just
Have
heard
you
a lot
seen-
about it.
Yeah, it's very.
What's weird as well is that Madam Web, traditionally in the comics, is an old woman.
Yeah.
So it's like,
See,
if you're gonna, sorry.
well, I was gonna say it's sort of spoilers though.
Mm.
I don't know anyone.
Oh
cares,
no!
but
Someone's
I'm
gonna
I'm sure people have seen
in
it.
the comments.
If
How
you're
dare
watching
you
this
spoil
podcast,
you
Madam
spoil.
Web?
At the end
Movie
of
of the year, spoiled by
Yeah.
Scott.
at the end of the movie, there's a more like accurate representation of a character where she's in a wheelchair, and she's got the glasses that Madam Web's known for, and you can see how she sort of becomes that older woman, but she's still obviously young. Dakota Johnson, is it?
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're
So
gonna do,
it just
I just feel like if you're gonna do film one of the Spider Women, why pick her?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many better
There's so many
options.
better
no, Madam
options.
Web is good.
Yeah, it's just like she's an interesting character, but I feel like
There is better.
They could have done it a lot better because I was reading a Spider-Verse comment and she was brilliant. She like Madam Web, like it's really really interesting. They've just done it poorly.
Isn't the villain also quite kind of
The villain.
badly
The
Villain
villain-
apparently is
and his
very
actions
just
are just
2D.
it's an original character, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not a pre-established character. It's
No.
like full on new things.
Maybe
Yeah.
just have someone going and saying, "Hey, I'm bad."
Literally.
Hello, I am the villain for this story arc.
Hello, I do the bad.
I do the bad.
I am the bad guy.
Okay.
Duh.
We'll go on to some other things now. Before we go into those things, I'm just going to slip in there as well because I know these two want to talk about it. Doctor Who wise, we spoke about Doctor Who last week. They have now released that the season coming up will be released in May.
Okay.
Did you think it would be coming so soon? Do you think it'd be later in the year? Are you not really bothered?
I've just been used to so many years where there's just been nothing, and it's kind of like, okay, so Doctor Who's dropping. It's only going to be like 6 or 8 episodes. It's not going to be very long either. So it's just it'll be. What I'm hoping is that it's. When I was speaking to when the 60th anniversary specials were on, the one thing that my dad brought up was like, it's a case of under Jodie Whittaker, there was not many episodes where you could watch it and think, I want to watch the next one again.
Yeah.
The David Tennant specials, it's kind of like, okay, I do want to watch the next one. That's why I obviously want from this after at least 3 or 4 years of just being like, oh god, it is Doctor Who.
Do you think he'll get anything like that?
Well, obviously for me, I kind of had that expectation that it would be like around like May or April time that it would come out. But for me, it's one of those things where it's the recent like Christmas episode and 1 or 2 of the specials with David Tennant. It kind of just ruined it for me a little bit. It just. I think I'll still watch it, but I'm not going to religiously watch it exactly then and there when it's, broadcast. It was because I have to admit, I watched the Christmas one probably a week or 2 after it came out. I didn't sit there on Christmas Day and think, oh, do you know what? I'll watch Doctor Who. It was more of a case of, I'll just catch up with it.
Which is very weird because I did, and I'm not a massive Doctor Who person.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of the first episode I definitely will, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
just a lot of hinging, especially with the whole thing of Millie Gibson leaving as well. That
I'm not keen. I don't know if that's to the casting or not. Well, I've not really heard a lot about season 2 because season 1's not even out yet. But obviously they've started season 2 recording. But I'm just like, something. I feel like, I don't know, some of the storylines, I don't think they're going to be that strong.
You know,
No,
I like
I've
the
got a
idea of
5.
the Beatles one, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Do you think Shooty will go for a long time? Do you think he'll be the Doctor for a while? Or
He's young.
He's young, but also like
Depends how much it flops.
Yeah,
Honestly.
do you think people like him because it's like a new? It's sort of like a. I guess they're trying to make it as modern as possible in a sense. They're trying to include a lot into it.
I personally think it's going to be one of those like 5, like, oh no, how'd you word it? Like 5 minutes of fame.
Okay.
Bit like Jodie Whittaker. It was like, oh, like
New Doctor.
New Doctor. She's the first female to play the Doctor, but you still need a strong cast and you still need strong script writers, and
to make that character like pop.
Otherwise there's all good about having, oh, we've put this character in because he's, brand new, he's young, he's different to everyone else.
He
but
is a good actor though.
He is a good actor.
I think with this it is more the writers just need to be on their A game.
Yeah.
I think because he's so fresh as well from like everybody knows him from Sex Education.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that like because he plays such a strong gay character and he's gay himself that if he put some sort of like that into the Doctor, it'd be a very new thing and it'd be very cool to see.
Yeah, it'd be a really fresh take on it.
Yeah, it'd be a really fresh take.
He's definitely the most Hollywood Doctor we will ever have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To this point, because the early Doctors back when it first started were known British actors.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Troughton was the first ever Robin Hood on TV.
Yeah.
That's a cool little thing there. but generally they were just kind of like well-known-ish actors at the time and kind of upcoming ones with Pete Davidson and same with Matt Smith. But with Shooter Gatwill, with Sex Education being so well known,
Did
such,
so
well.
well.
even before the Doctor Who specials, I think Barbie had come out just beforehand, and also he was also in that. So
Yeah.
kind of
Very
very
wasn't
much.
Bobby, wasn't
Yeah.
I do think there will be like some. I am sticking with the 5 minutes of fame thing though, where it'll be like, eventually people will get bored of him.
Do you think?
I think, and then it'll be like, he should have just stayed in Sex Education. They could have made another series, and then people will be more angry about that,
I mean,
as opposed to.
No, they already said a
Yeah.
while ago that they're not doing
Doing
anymore.
this,
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
obviously, there's loads of people complained at the time because, like, why is he leaving? He was the best character. Well,
Yeah.
he is an actor. He does get paid to do.
Yeah, he's
acting
gonna do
other
different
stuff.
I
things.
mean,
but-
it's known that the writing for Jodie Whittaker was very bad, but I think
Mm.
she tried to nail down the character, and it was just kind of thwarted at times by the writing being so bad.
Yeah.
But I think there will be enough time for Shooter Gatwood to be allowed to breathe and
Yeah.
actually explore this character. We've shown a
I
bit
agree.
in the Christmas special.
Yeah,
He seems very fun and like quite Doctor-esque at times,
But-
but
I don't think it'll be
just
like
give him more time.
Eccleston's era where he's like phased out straight away after like one series or two series or how many. But I think it will like. I don't think he'll be the Doctor for that long.
Do you not think?
No.
I think it might be a thing of like we spoke about earlier, where you see an actor and you see them just as that character.
Mm.
Like for me, because I've not seen him in anything else, I see him as Eric.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like for me, Sex Education is one of the best things on Netflix.
Mm.
I think it's incredible.
I've not watched it.
I wouldn't say the best. It's really good.
I think it's
really
all there.
good,
I think that the third season is a bit meh, but the first and
Yep.
second I think are incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. And I think because it's such a normal thing, it's such a British thing that when people watch it, especially because Doctor Who's such a British thing, they see him as that character. It might be a bit awkward and a bit weird to see him like transition to being one British staple character to another, but I think he will have enough time for people to think, oh, that's not the Doctor.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. But from that, speaking of Doctor Who and David Tennant, recently David Tennant did host the BAFTAs.
He did.
I watched the BAFTAs.
Did you?
I did.
I didn't.
I watched all the BAFTAs. It was all right. I'm not gonna lie. Oppenheimer, clean
Yeah.
sweep.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
They won 7.
What's
Is
the
that
one
spoilers?
called? And the Stone?
Huh?
What was the one called And the Stone in that won quite a
Poor
few?
things.
Four things. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. I've been
I've-
meaning to watch that.
You should watch it.
Also, Anatomy of a Fall. I brought up last episode.
Yeah.
One best screenplay.
I have literally in front of me. I have all the nominees and who won. So Oppenheimer won 7 BAFTAs. It won Best Film. It won Best Director of Christopher Nolan. Best Leading Actor Cillian Murphy. Best Supporting Actor Robert Downey Jr. And Best Cinematography, Best Editing, and Best Score.
I don't know if I agree with score.
Do you know?
But I don't know.
I
Just think
I
about that.
love the score of Oppenheimer. I think it's great.
Is it more the intensity of it that people like, though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rather than the actual thing, I think it might be
Yeah.
the intensity
Yeah.
of it. After that was Poor Things. They won 5 BAFTAs. They won Best Leading Actress Emma Stone,
Yeah.
Best Costume, Best Makeup, Best Hair, Best Production Design, and Best Special Effects.
What were the special effects? I haven't watched it.
It's
so-
essentially like,
Is that the one with Willem Dafoe? where-
yes.
Yeah.
So essentially like a dog with a chicken's head on the dog.
Oh.
It's supposed to be really weird and out there.
Okay.
But there's a scene where they're on a boat and she goes out of the boat and like the world's not like our world. It's like really weird.
Yeah.
But like the sky's upside down and then like the sea is red and black and then it's
If
like
that film
it looks
didn't win
cool.
set design, that would have been a
Cool.
robbery.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool. Zone of Interest won 3 BAFTAs. Best Outstanding British Film and Film Not in English Language. It's the only film in history to win both.
Really?
Yeah, because if you've not seen it, it's in Polish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. And it won the best British film because it's made by British people, but also because it's in Polish, it won not as well. So that was amazing.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Yay! The Holdovers won 2 categories. They won Supporting Actress and Best for Casting.
Nice.
Anatomy of a Fall won
Nice.
Best
My
Original
goat.
Screenplay.
Happy about that.
American Fiction won Adapted Screenplay. Earth Mama won Outstanding Debut for a British Writer and Best Producer. 20 Days in, I cannot even pronounce this,
20
Maripol.
days in Yeah, sure.
Yeah, won Best Documentary. The Boy and the Heron was the best animated film.
Yeah, as
Rightly
expected.
so.
Studio Ghibli film.
Studio
what a
Ghibli.
What a shock.
Yeah.
Jellyfish and Lobster won the Best British Short Film.
Really?
Yes, it did. The E Rising Star was Mia McKenna Bruce. If you don't know who that is, Tracy Beaker. Choosing Tracy Beaker. She played. I'm trying to think what her name was in it. Tia in Tracy Beaker. She's like the little girl, and she had an older brother called Johnny. She's in Dumping Ground as well.
Oh yeah.
So she was in a film recently called How to Have Sex. A really good film. Really good film.
You should probably watch that.
Oh,
Scott.
yeah. That's what I mean.
You should probably watch that.
Thanks, mate.
Help
Thanks.
you out.
But she did that.
Yeah, I think Scott's seen it, but not the same.
Shut up.
Christopher Nolan, actually, I remember reading about this. Christopher Nolan, because he won another Best Director, he now has won the most awards for any production or any person in history.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Or even more than Spielberg.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I thought that was insane.
Good for him.
But a lot of people said that after they went, that The Zone of Interest was like the best film they watched in 2023, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought that's very cool considering the fact it's like not a lot of people like to watch films that are either subtitled, because it is, or in another language, and some
Yeah.
people like.
Oh, I love them.
I do. I love
I'm
them.
not a fan of them.
See, I'm
You
not
know.
a fan either.
I love them.
I don't get how
Because-
why are you so opposed to it?
No,
they can't
For
read.
me, I spend so much time reading the subtitles.
That I miss half the
I
action
miss
that's going
half
on.
of what's
Yeah,
going on
I'm the same.
screen.
That's fair.
It could just be me with a simple mind.
It is.
But I.
Where are the? I should have dyslexia. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do I.
I love subtitles. My favourite's one which the sound effects where it says scary noise.
No.
Thank God.
I just like how
Screams in
different it is,
Spanish.
really.
Yeah.
What was it yesterday? I watched the film yesterday and I remember there's a subtitle came at the bottom and it said like jaunty sound effect. I was like, what?
What the fuck does that
Do you
even
remember?
mean?
Do you remember we watched Ferrari and there was a bit where there's a guy in a on a man speeds in Italian.
I was thinking of like the sound effects like that was funny at the bottom. Where
Joe.
this from the BAFTAs, bit random going to this next, but from the BAFTAs, a lot of people to me have been spoken about like new series and new things with Disney. One of the big things at the minute is Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
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 Some people are a fan of the film. Some people think they're overrated. Some people have read the books. What do we think of the topic of Percy Jackson in general, and what do we think of the new series?
See.
Okay. So, books, incredible.
Agreed.
Incredible books. Films, I'd actually watched the films before reading the books, so I thought it was a good standalone trilogy. They weren't the strongest movies. Percy Jackson Lightning Thief was a really good one on its own
Yeah.
without any prior knowledge.
Yeah. I think they could have been. They had potential there.
Yes. Yeah. Because obviously they took a really different take to what the
Books.
books are. But like I said, without that previous knowledge of the books, I did actually really enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
The other ones dropped off a bit, but it's fine. Series, I really wanted to like, because they're a lot more book accurate, age-wise of the kids, and just like
The casting's good.
Yeah, casting is good, and they do actually follow the plot points that they shouldn't have avoided
Yeah.
in the movies. But I wasn't a fan of the editing style for it. It felt too much like it was for TV with ad breaks, because
Right.
it kept including like cuts to black that would last a couple seconds each time.
Yeah.
Takes you out of it.
On a
I agree.
streaming service.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, exactly. So it just
That was a problem?
no, so it just didn't fit, and it took me out of it. And then I haven't actually finished it because it got to a point where I just didn't feel like I wanted to.
Yeah. That's fair
I've got
enough.
like a couple episodes left, and I probably will eventually watch them. But it just got to a point I'm like,
I can't bother anymore.
yeah, I'm not that bothered by it,
Yeah.
which is a shame because I was honestly really
Really
excited for it.
I was gonna say I love the like topic of it. It's not like with MCU, Marvel, where it's like comic books, whatever. With this, it's like actual mythology. It's really
Yes.
cool to learn
Yeah.
about. and
No,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think they.
Yeah, I understand.
Did you dissertation on it?
That's,
didn't you?
yeah, it's like I watched the films when I was younger. I mean, I watched Sea Monsters on like weekly release on a primary school trip, and I have like really weird memories of that. But
Yeah.
I'm more of like the original texts kind of guy.
Yeah.
So every time I watch like these type of films, I see inaccuracies, and I'm like,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
like Hercules gives me a panic attack every time I watch it. But like, I was going to try the series, but when Scott was saying it's not good, I kind of just didn't give it a go.
That's
Like,
fair
The
enough.
I mean,
Scott
it could just
verdict.
be it
Yeah,
could just be
Scott
my opinion
verdict.
though. You could
The
still
Scott
watch it and
verdict.
quite like it.
yeah,
but
to be fair, dude.
Should we get like
I-
a Scott
Take some
seal
time.
of approval?
Scott seal of approval. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one does not.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Oh
Actually, yeah.
shit! You give it 2 out of 5. Don't watch it.
No watching it.
A Scott badass seal of approval.
Would you give 5 out of 5 to Guardians 3?
Don't
no.
ask for it, be quiet.
No.
Scott seal of approval.
Yeah, I think it has potential. I don't know if they're doing any more with it. I assume they will.
Well, it was one series for one book, and there is a lot of books.
Books.
So I could very much see it.
Was it Lightning Thief the Third? I can't remember. I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
With it being because obviously it was made for a streaming service, depending on how many people watch it, though, it can totally get canned.
No, see
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
thing.
Blink of
It
an
all
eye.
depends on how successful.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I've seen it like everywhere though.
So
Like,
have I.
I keep seeing like adverts for it all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because they're really trying to sell you it.
They're
Like,
really trying to
that-
sell you
what was the series got? Oh, Inside Job. When that
Yeah.
got canned on Netflix because
yeah.
apparently didn't do well enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like they covered one book, which is good. So they're not going to be like left on any like weird endings. But obviously, if they want to carry it on, it's purely if people watch it.
So, based on this, do you think series is a better way to cover more aspects of a book than a film?
Depends on the book, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It depends on the book.
it does
'cause
depend on the book.
Harry Potter
Yes,
Yeah.
that is exactly what I
HBO
was thinking.
series gonna flop.
It is gonna flop.
It's gonna flop.
I don't. Why are you doing that?
Because like when it comes to like books, I think some books really need films. Like
I agree.
the book American Psycho is really good, and the
Mhm.
adaptation of it is really good. But I don't see it working as a series. But then you have situations like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, where they've strayed away from the original comics and books.
Yeah.
Obviously, Game of Thrones, the book still hasn't fucking released, so they didn't know
Yeah.
what to go with.
Yeah.
And then Walking Dead TV show made the choices to stray away from the comics,
Yeah.
like killing characters who are still alive in the comics and stuff like that.
That's fair.
And it's like sometimes it's an improvement. For example, there's The Boys, where the comic is absolute dog ass.
Yeah,
but
and
they've
then
seriously
this-
And then, yeah.
increased it.
Increased it.
But
I think it depends.
yeah, it completely dependent. Really.
I like I always like watching things before reading things because I think in books they have so much more fleshed out characters the majority of the time that when you watch them you get more out of the characters after you've read about them in detail.
Yeah.
You can sort of get introduced to them on screen, you can physically see them, and then when you read them you see more into them. Like my favourite film, my favourite book is The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't
I
really watch any of them. I need to watch
like
them.
it's such a crap film in general. Like it's not a cinematic masterpiece at all, but I just love the film
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the book is amazing.
Yeah.
And it does really well as a film, and it's like one of those films where you like you watch it and you sort of like, oh my god, my life's like I'm a movie character. it's such a like I love that type of film.
I mean, I don't mean to come back to it, but you know, that's why a lot of people got so attached to the MCU because these comic characters were
Yeah.
finally
Like
getting
there.
big
Yeah.
adaptations.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like I'd read Harry Potter before. Actually, well, most of them. I'd read 5, 6, and 7 before actually watching them when I was young, and I hate so much things about it when you have the prior knowledge.
Mhm.
Mainly Ron and Ginny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever read any like Doctor Who comics before?
It was originally a series.
Yeah.
It's mainly a series thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Did they release the comics afterwards then?
It's
No,
mainly
No, there was a
like-
time period where it was off air, and then it was like a fan-based like comic, I think, wasn't it, Billy?
It was right. Here we go.
Dive into that archive.
So when it was about in the classic era, it was mainly it did have a comic series and a weekly magazine that would run constantly.
Yeah.
When the show was, off air or canned, as anyone knew about it was, it went into novelizations. So
Okay.
many writers would make their own books on Doctor Who, so Doctor
Oh,
Who
right.
and
Big Finish as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, big. Yeah.
and Big Finish were a huge part of that. They would basically just be the audiobooks to some of the already pre-existing novelizations, and a lot of the writers that did all these books would then go on to work into modern Doctor Who. I think Russell T Davies wrote a few, Stephen Moffat wrote a few, and obviously they became showrunners. But I think Andrew Cartel also, something Cartel, I can't remember his first name. He wrote quite. I think was he the one that did the one with the scarecrows, the Family of Blood.
Oh, it might be.
He wrote quite a few during that off-air period, but yeah, it's mainly been novelizations, and the comics were mainly more just in the 70s and 80s.
There's been TV comics as well, hasn't there? Like Dreamland. You ever watched that one? Where it's like based in Area 51.
No,
Ah,
I'm not saying.
absolutely horrendous.
Oh,
Do
you
not
say you're
watch
missing
it.
out.
You're
Yeah.
not missing out. It's literally a very poor animation of the 10th Doctor's era, but it's very poor. It looks like someone's just made it in, I don't know, like
Doctor
the
Who has-
most basic animation studio ever.
Doctor Who has
It's a
tried to
Megamind too.
dabble. Doctor Who's dabbled in animation and like webtoons, and I don't think, or any like web stuff.
No.
And none of it's any good.
No.
Like they're all pretty.
One thing to book to film adaptation as well, I forgot to mention. You brought up that point as well. With books, you know, obviously when you read them, it's really like your imagination, so they really don't have a limit to what their story can do.
True.
But then if you talk about visual effects, you know, budget and everything, some books I don't think are really ever going to get that adaptation that they need to really give you the sense of what the book was going for.
Difference is that a book, you can describe a whole scene with a page and so many words. You have a minute to establish a scene in a movie, if that.
It's like I don't ever think Lovecraft's work is ever going to have like an extremely successful film because the nature of the books, it's way too hard to visualize.
And you can only show feelings in a book. You can describe feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, do you remember we were watching the latest Hunger Games?
Mm-hmm.
And so me and Scott and Josh were watching the most recent Hunger Games, and in that time, the housemate came down and she'd read the book of the corresponding film, and the difference between the film and the book were quite jarring. Not jarring, but very, very different.
Oh, right.
Because you do in the book read the thoughts of the main character.
Snow.
Of
Yeah.
Snow.
Whereas obviously with the film, you don't get like an
You only get the
interior
visuals.
monologue or anything like that. You don't get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know that.
yeah, and she said that the book was so much better just because you know what he's thinking constantly,
Here's the
and it
process.
adds that bit more intensity to it. We still thought it was a really good movie actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I mean, a book to film adaptation that did that was Submarine.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh.
Like Submarine, because the whole book is
Like
you know
Stone.
him writing his first person, his thought process, and in the film, you know, because the way the film's narrated, it's him talking, so you
Yeah.
can
Yes.
understand his thought process entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same with Perks.
Yeah.
Like in the book is literally just like diary entries that he's written to speaking about his life, and then in the film it's literally him doing the exact same thing, but he's got other people around him and he's speaking to them about what he's written in this book.
Yeah.
So it would have been possible for Hunger Games. They just chose not to do it.
They
Yeah.
they chose not to. It was an interesting approach, and to be fair, I think it did work. But by the sounds of it, book fans may not like it as much because
It's
they
not a book.
prefer that aspect of hearing what he's thinking and stuff. But
Yeah.
Plus, when you read a book, you know, say if we all read the same page right now, it won't look the same in everyone's minds.
no, yeah,
so
well,
every
that's
time
true.
a
Yeah,
book
no,
gets,
yeah.
every time a film gets adapted, there's always going to be that people who are like, that's not how I
Yeah.
imagined it.
yeah, and other
so-
people could be like, "This is perfect,"
Yeah,
and
true.
others could be, "No, it's not."
From that, we're going to go on to the last section of the podcast today, which is just basically about anything we've watched recently. It doesn't have to be a new film.
Back to the Future.
Shut
Be
up.
quiet.
Anything we've watched recently, it doesn't have to be a new film, that we've enjoyed, what we thought of it, if we've watched it before, if we haven't, if there's anything new that we're going to watch, if we're excited for anything, if anyone has any takers.
Series and film, I rewatched Baby Driver, and then series I've started watching The Bear, and I'm also starting the US version of Shameless.
Oh,
Because
fair
I watched the UK version of Shameless, and fucking hell did that drop off, so I want to see if
So-
US does it.
Tell me your opinions on
The Bear.
what you've been watching, because I
Okay.
love Baby Driver,
Yeah.
really love The Bear,
I love Baby Driver.
and Shameless US is just so much better than Shameless UK.
So Baby Driver, like my opinion and rating on it on like Letterboxd didn't change from when I first watched it. It's a
Yeah.
good film. I think the plot was a bit boring, but obviously you don't watch for the plot, you watch for the editing,
Yes.
soundtrack, you know,
100%.
cinematography.
Yeah.
So you know that was an enjoyable watch. And then The Bear, as someone who works in the kitchen, I love it. I
See, I
love it
thought with
so
that
much.
with that sort of view
Yeah.
of it as well, because I watched it.
It
obviously with
captured
no
so well
experience.
because the
Yeah.
way I heard about it was that someone in my work, who I also work in kitchen with, sent me a Bear meme where it was like him stressed out of his mind where it says kitchen stuff when they actually have to make food. And it's like, so that was interesting. It's why I love doing Boiling Point so much because again, it's like
Boiling
such a
Point's
good
good.
like. But yeah, no. Then the performances are really fucking good in that film.
Jeremy Allen White is
So it's
incredible.
incredible.
Yeah, and then,
So good, and you'll see that more in Shameless as
Yeah.
well. His acting is by far some of the best in the series.
Yeah.
Like compared to the other characters, he overshadows a lot of the other actors.
Yeah, and then the way that the bear builds stress and like cinematography, it's definitely stuff I want to emulate in the future.
Brilliant.
Like, I love it. It's a great.
Yeah.
It's a great series. Definitely one of the better things that's released recently.
The table
Yeah.
kids movie. Yeah, I thought it was such a fresh approach to a series as well, just being so fast paced and constant. You don't
Working in the kitchen.
like
Yeah,
no, yeah,
that's the
working
point,
in a
though, it's like
kitchen. Yeah,
emulating that.
it works. It emulates that perfectly. But like a lot of series now, they have a lot of downtime. They have a lot of slow sections, and I think it does like every now and again. But for the most part, it's something after something after something, and I think it just works brilliantly.
You know the scene where I can't remember her name, where it's like extremely busy because they got that one review, and she's kind of sat in the locker room and she's like blank face, like full on mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Everyone I know, including me, who's worked in the kitchen, has done that before.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. How
Oh,
well they get
kitchens
it.
are horrible
Yeah.
environments.
Mental breakdowns are so common. It's horrible.
Yippee.
Greg's.
Greg's, yay! Have you watched anything recently that you was like, "Whoop"?
To be honest, I've not really watched a lot. It just so happens that one of my favourite films was on last night on the TV, on like film 4.
What was
The Italian Job, the original one
Ooh.
from 1969.
Spicy.
It's got, don't want to ruin the plot, but essentially,
It's
You
been
can
out
have
for how
what you
long?
Spoilers for a film from
Spoilers.
1969, by the way.
We're all on the edge
Spoilers,
of
Some moon
that
landing was the same year, my friend.
spoilers. Basically, it's a big heist. They have 3 Mini Coopers. They try and rob a load of gold from this
No
place in
way.
Italy.
Really?
And then the cliffhanger
Shut
is there's an actual cliffhanger where
Hangs off the cliff.
they get rid of the Mini Coopers off the side of the cliff. The coach that they use as the transporter literally like goes off the side of the cliff, but it hangs with, and the plot being is, did they actually get gold or not? Because it's over the edge. So that's the actual cliffhanger. Because Michael Caine's in it as well. He tries to rescue.
Rachel!
He tries to rescue the gold, and then the gold goes even further over the edge of the cliff in this bus. So it's
Yeah.
You're running your pouch.
you never know. You never know if he's going to get
Quite
it or
I'm
not.
like,
literal
wait, what's
cliffhanger.
that? I think we've got Michael here with us today. You okay, Michael?
No, it's in.
But yeah, one of my favourite films that was on yesterday.
Oh, very nice.
Very niche film. Not many people like it. Not many people have ever heard of it.
I think
Oh,
I've,
no,
I've,
it's
I've
very-
heard of
very-
it.
No,
It's
it's
very
well known, but
The
it's not
original
below
one.
the age of 40.
Yeah, but the original one, not the remake, which has got
Todd watches dad films.
Todd is father.
Todd is
Yeah.
52.
Todd
years old.
was.
don't watch the 2003 one
I
because
won't.
it's just a bit
I'm
mid.
gonna watch
Noted.
it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome.
Make that your main takeaway from this
Oh,
podcast.
I'm gonna see
Go on
that
then, Ollie,
randomly in
how
10
many
years and be like,
films?
Todd,
About
told me not to watch
7,
it.
27,
No.
83.
So last week I watched a few films. I watched The Iron Claw,
Mm-hmm.
which is about wrestling. My family are very big on wrestling.
Jeremy Allen White again.
Yes. Jeremy Allen White and Zac Efron. I obviously, like, a lot of people know Zac Efron, who he is, like High School Musical and whatever.
Yeah.
His performance in this film is unreal. Like, incredible.
It's one of those actors where you think of him as just one thing. Because
Yeah.
I think of him as High School Musical, I can't think of anything else.
That's what I mean.
That's just like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Troy
Yeah.
Bolton, but
Yeah.
like this is incredible. So I don't know if you know what it's about, but basically it's a very true story.
It's about 3 brothers, right?
Yeah, it's about 3 brothers who wrestle together in the WWE,
Mm.
and essentially one brother murders the other 2 brothers.
oh, okay.
Oh
It's a-
shit.
it's a-
Oh, shit, I didn't
yeah.
know that. Oh.
It's a
bit
very
dark.
very dark film,
Okay.
but it doesn't
Dark.
it doesn't get dark until like the very end.
Uh-huh.
The whole time you have no idea, and then you're like, oh, I get what the
Yeah.
last hour of my life's just been for,
Mm.
and you sort of just like
Ah.
realize everything. And you're like, oh, okay.
Was it released this year? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's released this year. Really,
I
really good.
heard a lot of people said that it should have got awards,
Oh,
and it was
of course.
completely like,
Yeah.
Really?
So
Got it.
Underrated.
Was it even nominated at all?
No.
no, it wasn't even
Not
nominated,
nominated.
and people were
Really?
like furious
Yeah.
about it
Yeah, it was
because they, like you
incredible.
said, Zac Efron's performance they said was incredible.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was really
Okay.
good.
That was just,
So I'll watch.
did that thing as Ted Bundy, didn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's people like saying a similar thing about that. Whether that
Oh
was just
no, I
'cause
thought it
was
was. I
Zac
thought it
Efron.
was poo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's the whole moral implications of playing a character like that. I say character, because there was the whole thing with the Dharma series.
Yeah, true.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
when that
Dharma.
happened.
as I've said, I watched Interstellar again in IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need to say anything. It's
I mean,
Interstellar.
yeah.
I need to watch it
And
in a similar
IMAX.
environment.
Interstellar is incredible, and when you watch it on a screen that big, you like, okay then. I then watched one of my favorite films that nobody really likes, but Les Mis. I'm obsessed with Les Mis.
My girlfriend loves it.
I-
Les Miserables.
Les Miserables. It's very miserable, but it's a beautiful film.
I live with you, don't I? And
Yep.
you constantly mention it, and so does my girlfriend.
Yeah. So and our housemate.
yeah. And
I have
Todd
this.
can't escape.
I have
Yeah.
this tattooed on my body.
I'll find it.
do.
I do. I love Les Mis.
Todd, if
And
you never
feathers.
watch it in the
And
next couple of
feathers.
years, I'll be
Feathers
impressed.
McGraw. But yeah, I love it. The acting in this film, like take in mind if the singing, the whatever, the acting in this film and the cinematography, I never ever paid attention to before,
Yeah.
like properly until I watched it in cinema.
Mm.
And then I was like, oh my god, this is like an amazing film.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't just like looking at it as like a theatre student. It was like, okay,
See,
this is great.
It's good that you've like seen it from a different perspective now, and you can like
Yeah.
it for so many more reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Other than like, ooh, it's singing. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'm watching Bob Marley One Love.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be good.
Neither do I. However, I'm going into it just like whatever because I love Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I like Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Do you like all the biopics?
I'm a biopic person.
I
I
don't-
like
The
them.
theory of
What about the
everything was
Beatles
amazing.
one, where it was all the Beatles songs, but Beatles
No.
just never heard?
No,
Or
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
that
no,
was
no.
shit.
I think
Shit.
Like the
Never
Bruce,
understood
they did a
that.
Bruce Springsteen one as well. Shit.
Biopics for.
The Amy Winehouse one looks good.
I like.
Everyone else looks good, but I just like things in general, like Napoleon and stuff like that.
I like historical ones. The issue I
Yeah.
have with like singers and like celebrities is that they'll never go as far as they can with them because since they're a public figure, they don't really want to,
Yeah,
show
no,
certain
exactly.
things.
The
And I
story,
think
yeah.
I think Bohemian Rhapsody could have gone into a lot more that could have happened, but I understand why they didn't.
Yeah.
Then
But it
Rocket
still-
Man
it
was
still
actually
went
quite
well.
interesting cinematography wise, so that kind of like brings it back up for me. But then like Elvis was fucking dog.
Oh, I
And
heard.
then-
Yeah.
When was
See,
Fear of Everything released?
I think his performance was
Who even
Good.
played Elvis?
I can't remember his
Austin
name, but he
Butler.
did play him really well.
Austin Butler. It was incredible. But the film in general, I was a bit like, I remember watching it for the first time. I was like, yeah, this is good.
Mm.
Then I watched it again, and I thought,
This is
this is a
boring.
bit, yeah.
It's like because like these films, because I'm a bit of a history nerd and I like seeing things for how they are. And like the biggest example for this is like there was the Elvis film and another film released recently that was more focused on his wife, the biopic around
Priscilla.
Yeah,
Oh,
Priscilla.
Priscilla. Yeah.
Watching those two films
Yeah.
paint Elvis in a very different light.
Yeah. Priscilla was
Really?
Yeah, so
better than Elvis.
yeah,
Way better.
much better. So when you like watch these films, like it's very much just glorifying these celebrities, and it's just kind of like marketing to songs to you instead of actually going into the history with
Yeah.
it, which is why
And
I think Bob Marley's.
I
a
think it
badass.
feels a bit forced as well, just because of the success of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah, that's
and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
from
trend.
that biopic spiraled.
Spiraled.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them are really good,
Yeah.
but having so many of them is just
Yeah.
I'm
just gets
really,
a bit
really
boring,
looking
no matter
forward
how
to
good it is.
Oh,
Stop
Amy-
it.
The Amy one though,
Yeah.
because I watched a
Back to Black.
Amy Winehouse documentary
Yeah.
as part of my thing for sixth form. This was years ago, mind, but I remember that being incredible. And then
Mhm.
watching the trailer for this biopic, it gave me vibes of that.
Yeah. She's just like
documentary.
such an
Yeah.
incredible raw person.
So I think they're gonna do quite well with it. I
Yeah,
think the
I agree.
casting seemed phenomenal.
I think Bob Marley, like I didn't expect them to do Bob Marley for starters for someone.
Mm.
So I think that's why I'm somewhat interested, is because I thought like it'd be different. Like Queen is Queen.
Yeah.
Elton John's Elton John.
Yeah.
You know, what biopic I'm not looking forward to because I'm telling you now this is going to be the most
Oh, God.
annoying film release known to man. It's going to be the Taylor Swift biopic.
Oh,
imagine that.
Wait. Oh no.
That's going to be the most annoying
you
film
imagine?
release known to man.
Back onto historical biopics.
Love them.
I think they're better because right now, if there was a Taylor Swift one, Taylor Swift, you've
Yeah.
seen the scene. One based on history forces you to imagine it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
true. That's
Who,
very true.
who would they cast as Taylor Swift?
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Ariana
should do
Grande.
They actually would as well.
We
Like-
forgot to mention something before about Taylor Swift. She's meant to be in the Deadpool movie.
She is,
Oh,
yeah.
is she?
Did you
Yeah,
know she was
so
in the
they-
Super Bowl?
Deadpool movie.
Yeah, they released a new poster with like friendship bracelets as the poster,
Mhm.
and one of the friendship bracelets is the ones that her fans have off her tour.
Oh.
And there's been loads of pictures
What
of
was
her
the
with like the
character?
cast.
What's the character she's meant to be?
Oh, the bugger that's gonna annoy me now.
Oh,
I was about to
same.
the day.
But anyway, yeah, I saw something. She's meant to be in it. I don't know how to feel about it.
Neither do I.
The best role she's ever played in the film was in Amsterdam when they pushed her under a car.
Oh god.
Anyway, sorry. back to
So
what
just-
you were saying, Bradley.
Okay.
I just needed to.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Historical biopics.
historical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rocketman.
I mean, I've said it, but the better
Rocketman.
because you can imagine your own version of history.
Eddie
Yeah.
If it's on a
Eagle.
Do you know
modern
what?
one,
I'm
you've
not gonna
already
lie,
seen
that does
it.
count. I actually love that film. I don't care if people think it's shit. Eddie
What?
the Eagle.
Eddie the Eagle.
I love Eddie the Eagle.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
One of the better biopics that released recently was One Life.
One Life. Yeah.
Towards the end of last year. Very
Yeah,
good film.
One Life's a good
Mhm.
film.
It was very nice film.
What's the one we? Oh, Rush.
Rush.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Is that a biopic?
No, yeah, because it's about
Yeah.
people.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Rush
yeah.
is a good film.
As you could
So-
also say, Ferrari is a biopic.
Oh yeah, Brian
Yeah.
Ferrari is a
Yeah.
biopic.
Like, as
Yeah.
soon as it like focuses on a specific person with a history,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's fine.
Ferrari
Yeah.
is very much about Enzo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there anyone who would like a biopic on any particular person?
Ooh.
I mean, for me, it would have been Amy Winehouse, and they're going to do it. So.
Yeah.
Is there a biopic? This is gonna be the thing here, but is there a biopic on Hitler? Because that would generally.
There's
interest
so
me.
many.
I was gonna say because it's
Right,
like
right.
I remember watching a
Yeah.
thing about I think it was Hitler: The Rise of Evil. I
Yeah,
watched.
you were watching history
Yeah,
class.
I watched that and I really liked it.
That
Like, I
feels
thought it was so
weird.
interesting.
That's like one of the one films you can find full on
They've-
YouTube
Yeah.
for
They've
free
already
for
done
some
one
reason.
on.
Is there one on Shakespeare?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I think so.
They did one on Mandela, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Years
was,
ago.
there was a recent
Oh,
BBC
good one.
series with about William Shakespeare, but I think it was. Oh, no, I know who he is. All I Lied to You, not leaving that. David Mitchell.
David Mitchell.
David Mitchell played him, and it was kind of. I think it was just a BBC comedy, but
I probably
that's the thing I've seen recently.
I'd probably say some like because there's Netflix is full of them now, and I love watching them because I'm one of those people. I love watching like murder documentaries and stuff like that, or when they like fully go into it. But I love like thinking, like trying to think how they do. I wish they would do one on like John Wayne Gacy, or they do one on Ted Bundy, or they do one on
I think the
Dahmer
Ted
and-
Bundy thing's gone now.
True.
Yeah.
I
Same
wanted
with
to do one on
Dahmer.
John Wayne
Same
Gacy.
They'll need to have
as-
someone for it to work properly. Someone maybe not as well known.
I wanted to do John Wayne
They-
Gacy.
Maybe the West, like Fred and Rose Rest.
Oh yeah,
They did as like I'm pretty sure they did a TV adaptation of it.
I think
but
I've seen bits of that.
not like film wise. I don't think I've done
Yeah,
it.
but I
was-
know how controversial those ones are.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
of the people who
I think-
died.
The best ones are better than the documentaries. Have you watched the Dharma tapes?
I have.
Those are really good. Those
Really
are like,
good.
Yeah.
really good films.
That's
Yeah.
the thing
Not films,
is
series.
because there's also that ethical
love the
thing of
tapes.
how much can you actually just put in a
Put in
film,
film.
because of
Mm.
the impact it
That
has on the
has-
families
Yeah,
and
of course.
the victims.
I mean,
I'd say.
with Dharma, they didn't even bother to approach their families.
Yeah.
Like, which is
Yeah, and
ridiculous.
that's why it was. Yeah.
The you said about there's so many different tapes now. The first one I watched was the John Wayne Gacy tapes, which is basically a man who was in Chicago in the 80s, and he used to dress up as a clown
Yeah.
for parties, for like kids parties, and he worked on like a building site, and he used to employ like loads of young teenage
Apprentices,
boys
yeah.
basically, and then he found all the bodies in his apartment under his floorboards. Yeah.
So he was the
Oh.
purple guy from FNAF.
Yeah.
You know, what would be
Yes.
a really interesting series slash like either documentary or maybe like a biopic. The Consensual Cannibal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So
Oh,
basically,
is that
it was this
Yeah.
guy who was like, so he was gay, and I don't think his family was like approving of it and stuff like that.
Okay.
But eventually, because obviously since he was like very repressed, and because like his upbringing, he had quite a bad upbringing.
Okay.
But eventually, he gained a kink for like cannibalism.
Yeah.
And basically, what
Right.
he'd do is when he was like on his own, I think either his mum was like, he had to care for her, but she wouldn't know what was going on, or he's living on his own. But he'd invite these men to sleep with on the consensus that eventually at the end he'll kill them and eat them. But every
Right.
single time they back out. So it's like a really interesting thing because he'd never kill anyone without the consent. He always went
Yes.
for the consent, which
Yeah,
is really
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because there's a like Zodiac.
The Zodiac Killer.
They're-
Yeah, Zodiac
yeah,
Killer, they did the
yeah.
thing with that.
Yeah,
Zodiac
I
is a
thought
good
that was
film.
really
I
good.
love how this
Yeah.
podcast now turned into true crime documentary.
Yeah, it actually
Films.
does. It's a true
Yeah.
crime.
No, no,
Was that
literally.
the one where like apparently because it wasn't known at the time even then. Apparently, it was reported that he actually did see the film and said, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they got so much right,"
Yeah.
and then but no one found out who it
I
was.
no, I heard a bit about that actually. Yeah.
So many people will claim to be the Zodiac Killer. Like I love when people just start pointing it around celebrities and goes, "That's a Zodiac Killer."
They did the thing with like this is not relevant whatsoever, but like the Illuminati.
Mm.
There was like a thing. There's so many
Oh my
theories that was
God,
like
yeah.
this person wears red and this person wears red and this
Oh
person
my
wears red.
god!
So they're all
This
part of the
person wears
Illuminati.
red.
Are we sure that the dress is blue and black?
Um,
Oh, don't even.
It actually was though, wasn't it?
it
Another
was
psyop.
blue.
wasn't it? That's
It was blue and black, but people thought it was white and gold.
I saw white and gold.
It was
so
blue
I
and
saw
black.
blue and
This
black.
is like
It was
the
white
what
and
was it?
gold,
The
but let's not start
Yanni.
this.
Blue and black.
Yanni and
and
Laurel.
This is nearly
Yeah.
10
It
years
was-
old, this dress debate, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
literally, what?
It's still going now.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm excited to see them, and I think we'll go for them. Are you guys excited to see anything or watched out?
I mean, like we said, Deadpool,
Deadpool, yeah.
Amy Winehouse documentary, a biopic. Sorry. There's a few others. I got lost my train. Kung Fu Panda.
Yep, please.
I'm so scared.
It's probably
for
gonna
that
be
film.
shit.
I'm so
But
scared.
I'm still.
I like the
looking
idea of
forward
the
to it.
chameleon though.
I like the idea of the chameleon. Yeah.
It's a good way to bring him back.
And then
I'm gonna try and finish off Loki because I've only watched 2
Okay.
episodes so
Loki's
far.
good.
I keep falling asleep
That's fine.
because I watch them at late night, so I'm like, I'll watch it.
Loki is good.
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
I'm gonna watch it solely for Kevin Hart.
Oh, God.
He's
I think-
he's so funny.
I can't remember its full name, but like the Division of Ungentlemanly Warfare is going to be a
Yeah,
good film.
I've
I'm
Yes.
just excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course. Yeah.
Like I love the
No,
film
yeah, that does
poster.
look good.
What's I saw the trailer for recently. I think it's just called The Gentleman. It's the Guy Ritchie film.
Oh
Yeah, because they did like the first one on Netflix, and
Mhm.
that slaps. That's such a good film.
Yes.
What about Colin
Um,
Farrell? And
Yeah.
No.
No,
No, not
that's what I'm thinking
Will
of.
Ferrell,
I'm trying to think what it's called.
Sandler. Was it Sandler? No.
No.
I'm confused. No. Sorry. I'm.
The Gentleman, isn't that the one with
Gentleman.
like
Hugh
Hugh Grant, yeah.
And,
Hugh
no,
Grant.
but it's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin
Hugh
Farrell. I thought you said Will
Colin
Farrell.
No,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
That's
Yeah,
Mamma
Colin
Mia,
Farrell.
I
isn't
just
it?
have the guy from Greenpeace.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was not Greenpeace.
Not Peace.
You know, what's the one with the football film about West Ham?
Oh, Green Street.
Green Street.
Yeah.
He's got him in it, but in an actual Geordie accent and not a shit Cockney one.
Yeah. No, yeah, I like that film.
I should put West Ham United.
What's the
But
film I watched recently? The film about the plane crash from Manchester.
oh really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good film. It was it's a very comforting film with the cinematography and the colours. It's very
You
comforting.
can't say plane crashing that's
No.
comforting.
No.
No,
Yeah,
because-
cancelled.
No, the film is like about the club and how they came up after the crash.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the crash is obviously like they don't really show much of it. It kind of like fades to black and then it shows like the remnants of the crash. Then like when they're at home and stuff like that, the way they portrayed like Manchester back in the day was really like warm and comforting. And then like it's really heartfelt at the end where the I can't remember the player in particular when he actually comes back.
Oh,
Like,
right.
it's
Have
really
you-
nice.
Have you gone a bit off topic? But have you ever watched Life on Mars?
Oh, is that John Sims?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, my dad's watched that. It's one of the things I need to watch as well.
It's got a good like historical representation of Manchester in the 70s.
Mm.
It's quite good. It's
Is
quite
that,
Nice.
what he was that say? Isn't that where he goes back in time, like 30 years?
Ends up in a coma, but it's actually like if you watch the what's the other show? Ashes to Ashes. There's it ends up being that it's not actually a coma. It's more of a like I don't know how to
Right.
describe it. You've not seen it, but
No, but I need to.
There's I like things like that actually where it shows you like places because there's a film that I grew up watching called Spike Island, which is about this group of boys who grew up listening to the Stone Roses, and it's about like music in that time in Manchester, so about Oasis and Blur and Stone Roses,
Okay. Yeah.
and it shows Manchester like perfectly in that time, and it's just like really cool. But yeah,
I think it's also like if it's an area that you're close from.
yeah,
Because
true.
like I quite live. I'm like from quite close to Manchester, one of the districts. So it's like every time like Manchester depicts in film, it's quite close to how all
Yeah,
the
true.
districts would have been as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember a film where it's been like, and here's York.
I think
Yeah.
Manchester in general pays homage to a lot of northern culture.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
I love Northern.
I love Northern
think
culture, though.
Manchester is the capital of the north, isn't it?
Oh no, it is. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
It's like the London of the North.
Like we
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
the northeast. Bolton
Yeah.
represent.
North.
Northwest.
No. Gaff.
But yeah, I think on that note,
badly.
We do questions.
we should
Finish.
do a round of questions,
Yeah.
and then we shall finish for this week.
Yeah.
And do you know what? We're gonna go this round. Right round.
Oh, William's starting this time.
William's gonna start. He's gonna get the paragraph again.
It's upside down.
More
Oh, yeah.
questions or not?
Read it upside down.
Mate, just keep it down. Do you try to watch films that win awards? Are awards good indicators of film quality?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I
It's very much
disagree.
like with Rotten Tomatoes. You see critics review, then you see audience review. It's purely subjective, and if it ticks boxes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
true.
Bowie didn't win that many awards, but it's still a really good film.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I mean, there are quite a few Oscar bait films, which is kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, look at this,
Yeah.
it's got a great cast, and it was made by
I mean-
this person, but it's kind of like just flipping bang average.
Yeah.
A lot of films win awards for a reason.
Oh god,
but,
yeah.
but also there's so many that don't, and they should have.
Well,
Yeah.
back to Barbie, I'm sure the directors and creators of Barbie would rather have the impact Barbie
Yeah.
made than
Oh, then the
awards
awards.
Yeah.
Of
No,
course
yeah,
they would.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like Greta Gerwig not even being nominated.
That's
as a director.
yeah.
It's just
Greg
horrible.
Goins such a good director.
But then, like,
as well.
we would just talk about the BAFTAs, like, the stuff that got awards did deserve awards.
Oh yeah.
But it's not the be all end all if they don't get it, I don't think.
No.
And then there's
But
the
it-
whole
yeah.
indie scene where films just won't get mentioned
At all.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
So, next question.
It
Oh,
is.
yes.
Indeed.
Do you enjoy movies from your own country or other countries more? From which other countries?
it depends. Like
Yeah.
I like historical stuff in like England and stuff like that. Modern day ones I'm a bit iffy on, but like I
The
like
Brothers Grimsby.
Yeah, masterpiece. But then like I like films from all sorts.
Filmed in London.
It was filmed in a suburb of London, but I'm from Grimsby. Sacha Baron Cohen did essentially method acting by going around a bunch of pubs in Grimsby.
Yeah.
It's what you need to do.
Yeah.
It's what-
You need to prepare yourself.
I think I'm a bit of both. Like in terms of like international films, I like
Parasite.
Japanese, like
Have you watched
French.
Parasite?
I need to. That's what I
Parasite.
watch list.
I mean, there's God knows how many good like Eastern European films.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
what is it? Come and See.
I think so.
It's like Serbian or something.
Mm.
It was a film. I think it's called Come and See. That's like absolutely superb. But like I said, there's quite a few Asian influences, like Studio Ghibli making
Like I said, Studio Ghibli.
like quite a few animated films. And
Yeah.
obviously he's got stuff like Parasite as well.
Parasite's
coming over,
good.
and that kind of sweeped the Oscars when it came about.
I suppose it's not really like because it's got an American influence into it, but Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm.
That's an incredible film.
I think
Yeah.
it's a great telling of how like the immigration story of coming to
Yeah.
America to live the American dream.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, literally.
Like
yeah. It's just
I just think the editing on that is
yeah,
so
it's
admirable.
It's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the one thing that like the one shot I take away from that film is right at the beginning where it's zooming in the first shot
Mm.
and there's just she's sat at the desk and there's the mirror on the thing and you can just see
Is
like
that the
back.
laundry?
Yeah,
piece?
in the
Yeah.
laundromat, and I was like, that's such a cool shot.
For me, it's the profile shot where it goes for all the different like universes all at once.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's insane for me. But like I think as well with like films from like, England, like it's always nice to like learn about where you're from.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
God,
like
yeah.
war
Like,
films. and
This Is
stuff.
England, that
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
thing is really culturally
Mm.
impactful and stuff. So
Like
yeah,
Four
it's-
Lines is a very British film.
Yeah, Four
Yeah,
Lines
Four
is a very
Lines.
good film.
Yeah.
And
I
like I can imagine there'll be times where if you're abroad and you've not been home for a while, it can be quite confident to like watch those types
Just-
of films.
yeah.
I do like stuff like war films as well though,
Mm.
like Hacksaw Ridge,
Mhm.
Dunkirk,
Yeah.
1917. 1917 is
Such
diff-
a good.
good.
Can we
Oh,
talk about it next episode? Because
Yes.
I've
War film
love that
episode.
war
movie.
film episode.
War film.
Have you guys watched It's All Quiet on the Western
In Front?
Great film. Beautiful.
That's sweet as well.
Did you
when that came
know
out.
there's a it's my favorite account online of all time, but there's this guy on Reddit who goes on every single subreddit with like a picture of Paul Balmer pogging.
Oh,
and, he goes,
really?
and he goes, "This is a certified Paul Balmer moment." And it's always funny finding him.
Do you want to do your question?
I will.
Okay.
I'll
Oh,
God, moment.
Wait,
The one
that's the one
before.
from before.
Oh, was it my essay one?
Brilliant.
Don't put it back in, Stinky.
Just don't got you.
What do you like to eat or drink while watching a film? I'm very much a savoury person. I love savoury food. Like anything cheese, nachos, cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Nacho
Tuna
cheese.
mayo
I remember going to the
sandwich.
cinema and buying nachos and cheese, and it was the most disappointing
Mine-
experience of my life.
Mine, if I go to the cinema, I normally get some popcorn.
Let's make
I normally get the either sweet and salty one, or I get a toffee popcorn.
I was going to say,
Toffee
I
Toffee-
love the
toffee
fucking
popcorn is the
massive
best.
Cokes at cinemas.
same.
Oh,
Toffee popcorn.
yes.
Or I used to be that person who used to get like Tango Ice Blast because I'm sad.
No, Tango Splice are good though.
My dad's
They are
my
We've
good.
all
dad's
been
a certified
13.
Tango Ice
Yeah,
Blast.
literally,
That
that's
goes
what
on.
I like the hot dogs that are like 75% plastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
microplastics.
That kind of like.
No, they've got such a
Cheap
distinct.
taste.
That,
Yeah.
Distinct-
shite
yeah,
cheese.
yeah.
Hot
I
dogs
used
are
to
it's a film, but
I used to
enjoy it.
love getting sweet and salty popcorn,
Mm.
and then I realised it's shit, so I just get
Yeah.
sweet
Yeah.
or I get toffee.
Yeah.
Or-
Toffee.
My tradition for my girlfriend hates me every time I do it when we go to the film. I always go to the Tesco like nearby and I get a 1 litre Oasis. It's a classic.
They
It's-
exist.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And you know how much it is in like near mine?
Never seen
£1
an Oasis outside of the
It's
standard
£1
one
bottle.
quid?
It's literally
What,
like
a
I don't know why.
quid?
Yeah, literally
Is that
in my like
comical?
Tesco. I don't know why. And it's funny because I always
You
try to
need, like,
smuggle
double
it in.
the
And it
price.
looks like I'm smuggling something really dodgy.
Yeah.
Because it's just a massive 1 litre Oasis. It's a classic. I love it.
I want to get one. I mean, I've had them before. I didn't know there was a quid.
Yeah, it isn't.
It's cheaper than a smaller bloody.
That's what I mean. It's
Literally.
weird. 'cause
It's
like,
usually like 120 for a single one.
It's
Yeah,
cheaper
that's what I
to
mean.
buy a big
Big
bottle of Diet Coke than what
It's
it
because
is
I
the
suppose
small ones.
Yeah.
people want to
Yeah.
get something on the go and they don't want to like
Yeah.
haul around a liter bottle with them.
You just hold
Come
the
up to your
liter and a
lecture,
half
it's like,
in.
right.
No, I would if I could. But
Yeah, it's just
true.
like a convenience.
Yeah.
It's a
effect,
convenience
isn't
thing,
it?
isn't it?
I never forget when I think it was the primary school. This is the memory of the Percy Jackson one where I got a whole bag of M&Ms and I was in the background. I dropped them.
Oh, no.
The entire cinema just lit up with all like the colours of the M&Ms going down.
Oh god. I have a question now.
No, it was Skittles.
Yeah.
This is going to go into me arguing with Billiam.
Yeah.
Are sequels ever as good as the original? Give examples of good sequels if you can.
That's the future.
Back to the
Shrek
Future.
2, Shrek 2, baby.
Shrek 2 and 3. Shrek the third.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
The third isn't good.
The third isn't good.
Sorry, no. Empire Strikes Back. I meant. Sorry.
Strikes Back, yeah.
I do think Empire Strikes Back might just be the single most important film of all time, not because of just how good it was, but because of the impact that
I
Star
love
Wars
Star
has
Wars, man.
made across the world.
True.
And it kind of relied heavily on Empire Strikes Back, and it delivered as possibly one of the best sequels.
I think
I very much enjoy Star Wars. I don't think they're the greatest films by any stretch of the imagination. I recognise their impact, but Empire Strikes Back is easily my favourite.
it sounds like you're trying to cook like the
Yeah.
most like reasonable take until you're about to
Literally.
say something fucking
Mm.
off.
But then we have Back to the Future.
No, right. I was going to say, wait, I'll go for what you just
Which
said to start
last time
with.
I called shit.
Wait,
And I held my
Let me go
head.
on Star Wars first, and then I'll roast you at Back to the Future.
Like,
Yes, already.
Star Wars, I am a big Star Wars person. I love them, but I'm big on the prequels.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah,
I think the
of course.
prequels are far better. A friend of mine who I was trying to get into Star Wars recently, like she very nerdy, loves a lot of things. She said that she watched number 3. She watched number 3, and I was like, good one to start on. You know, why not? If you're gonna watch anyone randomly, go for number 3.
Yeah.
Go on, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you know what? Star Wars is shit.
Okay.
Watch that, and I don't want to watch another one. And I was like, what do you mean?
So-
What do you mean good?
I think
What do you mean good? Star Wars is one of those things where it's very overrated.
No, it is not overrated.
Oh,
modern
hey,
Star Wars is.
come
Modern Star Wars is.
through
But
second-
Yes,
Honestly,
modern
especially
Star Wars is.
All through secondary school, it was constant thing of Star Wars this, Star Wars that.
For a
dress-
reason.
People dressing up as Chewbacca. It's like it's just
What?
it's
Just a
old
regular
hat.
basis in your school? I think they're called furries.
Oh,
Why can't you
Chewie's
all
back.
dress up as classic cars?
I think when it,
Yeah, I'd rather that.
I mean, when it comes to like sequels, I think films that actually try and build on what they originally made instead of just trying to make this but better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The
what
Force,
about, like,
the Force
I think,
Awakens was just a recreation
me-
of The New Hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, I've just got a very short attention span. Star Wars is just too long.
Oh my
It
god,
doesn't
no,
need
it's
to be that
not.
many
You
films.
have not
Grow
sat
up.
down and watched
I agree
all of the
with some
Hobbits and
aspects
then
of
watched
the
Lord of the
prequels being
Rings.
too
No, I
long.
haven't.
You- if
Because
you
I
think
haven't
Star
got-
Wars
I
is
have a
long,
life.
no, not
I have a
We
life
have to put
outside
like
of.
Subway surfers underneath Star Wars.
Yeah.
to watch it.
No, if it was a man cutting up a block of concrete or wood, I probably would watch.
If it's someone
it.
changing
You
like
actually
a-
are
it's a
40
crash
years
of
old.
somebody
Yeah.
wrapping a car.
It's kinetic sand, maybe.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
Actually,
Uh,
alright.
So I said
Yes.
Back to the Future was shit last time.
yes, yeah,
I've watched them. They're all just flipping mid.
The fact that
They've
you're
got-
saying those
they've
shit
got-
before you watched them.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know, but that was me being like, haha.
Can you?
Well,
I'll ask you a question.
But
If you think
but
they're
there are
mid,
good elements to each of the 3 films.
can you see how they're iconic as films?
Oh,
I love
absolutely.
to.
But the intro.
He's gonna be a massive Back to the Future fan by the 5th episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
The
gonna
more
be-
we get into
You're
No,
going to come in
about
here
it.
and you're going to be dressed as the dog or
So-
No,
dressed as
because,
Marty.
right,
Marty,
because
yeah.
they
He's
all have
gonna
good
have the-
elements and they
yeah.
all have really
Yeah,
flipping boring
Yeah,
and
we're
shite
going to get the
elements.
23
Can we do a
grand
dress up
Mike Myers.
special?
Yeah.
But right,
Yeah.
with
Yes.
three, I think 3's better than 2. Reason being is because
It's just
I-
not.
A train runs over the car.
No,
What do you mean?
Right, no, because the bits where they try and recreate Sergio Leone are kind of like, you know what? I'll give you that. I will give you that. It was very well done. The bits where they have the shoot off with Biff or Dave, what he was called. But the train at
Craig's
the
here.
end. But I will admit that the train at the end is the single most goofy looking.
Yeah, I don't
train,
like it.
Like
You're-
movie prop ever known to mankind. Number 2 was kind of like, yes, we can look back in now in 2024 and be like flying cars, suckers.
2015 actually.
2015.
Can we like?
But 2050, it was just a bit pretentious, and the whole thing of like
It-
Crispin Glover and using the footage when they shouldn't have, and that created a whole new thing. But it was just a bit. And
Billion.
look at this.
Hey, now it's my turn. I have my
And
hand up
also, why are they so careless as well? Because they're just like,
He's applying logic to
Morty,
Back to the Future,
yes,
by the
Morty,
way.
please get into my car. And
Literally,
we'll
what
go,
Mitch just
and we'll-
said. You're applying
Also,
logic
biggest
to a
cl-
film
biggest-
about a car that goes into the future.
Oh, so we can't use basic knowledge. Oh, how
Yes.
dare we
No,
use some sort
you-
of basic knowledge
no,
towards
you
anything?
can't.
Can
Because,
we make
it's
this-
applying
It's not
cars.
quite plutonium in a car.
Okay, do you enjoy
You put a
Cars?
banana in a car. What
Can
do
we
you
make
mean? There's
Cars,
no
also,
logic.
Cars 1 is the most overrated Disney film of all time.
No, it's
Hold
not.
on, hold on,
Right,
hold on, hold on.
right.
It's the
Hold
third.
on.
It's the
Calm
third
down.
best Disney film
Let's
ever.
calm down.
Tangled is
Like-
number 2.
Sorry, in Cars 1, she literally shits on him. And there's no even mud
I sent you that
It's
reel, that's
not
not what
She
happens.
shits on him.
I sent you that reel. That's not what
Right.
happens.
No, there was no mud patch on the floor, meaning that she shat on him while she was driving.
Do they brush their teeth with oil?
Can we make this like a regular thing? Where after every podcast, he has to watch Back to the Future.
Yeah,
shows?
please.
Yeah,
No,
let's see
I'm
how
not
good
watching
it
Back
is.
to I'll watch a
Billy,
Cars 1 and be like, you know what, maybe fair
Billy,
enough.
what?
Sorry, but Cars 1 is so mid, and you got the Cars 2, which is the most flipping
Billy.
bizarre plot to known to mankind because how do you
Okay,
go
next
from like
question.
Right, okay, let's move on.
Next question.
Okay. Are you more upset
You're done.
that there's,
You're done.
in 2015 there weren't actually any hoverboards? Is that what you're upset by?
No, I'm just,
I am.
it's this
Be
flipping
quiet.
absolute shite MacGuffin, the Sports Almanac. I beg your pardon.
Right,
Okay.
Todd's question.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
no.
Are you looking forward to any upcoming movies? What
No.
film do you want to watch these days?
I mean, I just want to go through my watch list, honestly.
Oh, do you
I
know
might
what?
watch Back to the Future again.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
Right, I mean, we've sort of already
We already
covered that
answered this.
before.
Do another one.
Do another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my watch list is building.
I'm lucky.
Is
I've
it?
got
Yeah.
2 questions.
Look at you go.
We might have already had this one. What's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Sort
I
of
can't
fits
think
into-
off the top
like
of my head.
ever seen.
It's a Netflix film called Night Before Christmas, which is one of those like
Netflix original.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those stock Christmas films that's kind of like girl is whisked away and she can't get her dream job but finds a love interest. Then she gets offered the job for her dream job.
Isn't that
And
Mean
then she
Girls
has to
2.
decide to do the dream job or her boyfriend.
Yeah,
Especially
it
the
was probably
holiday,
just
that
like
is.
Yeah, literally the holiday.
I can't remember what it was because they're all generic and just shit. But just like Netflix is like
Rom-coms.
rom-coms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
one that,
Netflix produces.
I can't remember what she's called now. She's
Well,
massive on
is it?
TikTok. And she was in a film, and the actor in it was like, I don't know what I'm watching.
Yeah.
I can't remember what she was called.
See, it's hard to think. 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
this is just a Netflix run.
Yeah, it's hard to think of like
And
what
Squid Game was
terrible
overrated too.
films like.
Agreed.
It's hard to think of because it's either films that people think are good but I thought were just disappointing, or films that are so bad but they're still fun to watch because they're
Yeah.
bad.
See,
So I don't
yeah,
want to knock on
yeah.
them because
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's
a few. I think
I did not hit her.
I didn't do it. I did not.
I feel
Oh,
like
hi,
there's
Mark.
quite a few '90s
Hi,
ones that are
Mark.
like they've got a funny storyline, but in terms of being a film, they're just a bit
Oh,
mid.
got mine. Fucking hate the Sing films so
Sing.
much.
Oh,
Sing.
say- oh,
Never
no.
watched them.
I'm
hate
still
them so-
standing.
They are just they are glorified
It is a-
product placements. I hate them
It
so
is.
much,
But
It's
man.
children's film, though.
McFarlane's in it, mate.
I don't care. I
Seth
don't care.
MacFarlane.
But it's
I
a good
hate
song.
Oh, they're
Minions.
so bad.
Hey, Lois.
It's another Illumination
I'm that little mouse and
Minions.
sing.
Tonight
Minions.
we steal the moon.
The moon. That's the thing though.
Dr.
Like, Despicable Me
Mario.
1 is actually good.
Mario.
Despicable
Hey
Me 1
Lois,
is not
I'm a
bad.
No, it's
little,
good, to be fair.
teddy bear called Ted.
Oh yeah, Todd Dog. Yeah, Ted's dog.
Anyone seen anything of the new Ted series on?
I want to.
I want
I
to
forgot that was
actually.
a
I've
new
not got
thing.
around to it though. Not got around to it.
Yeah.
I was kind of like I kind of knew that the Ted films when they came out were a bit like just like adult comedy.
Yeah, I
but it's a
never
bit
watched them.
To be fair though, when they did the trailer for them, because they've been plastered on my TikTok, the one that did make me laugh was the one where it's kind of like, well, I don't have any parents because I'm a stuffed toy that was made up by a wish. I butchered that joke very badly, but it did make me go like, huh. Move on.
Yeah, true.
No, that's like pretty much all the punchlines. And
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I do want to watch it though because it does. Some of it does look quite funny.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the drink driving clip from Ted series?
Yeah.
yet? That did make me laugh.
I've seen
Whenever I
that.
hear drink driving, I just think of that Northern Ireland advert.
Oh yeah, well, the
What
flat
the
kids.
ashtray?
Oh,
Yeah, it goes
God,
flying over the
yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
It's weird how like we can immediately just click on like, oh yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The blue ashtray.
That's such a like a British culture
Feels
thing,
good to be
man.
doing that.
Mitch, your
Mitch.
question?
Feels good to be thanks.
Last question.
Last question of the podcast.
How long should a movie be, and how long is too long?
You're right.
I mean, it just depends on the plot. Because like for example, I watched Napoleon. That didn't have to be as long as it did.
Titanic,
Hobbit just
3
defies
hours
it.
long. That's a bit too long.
Titanic.
Oppenheimer,
Oppenheimer,
too long.
No, Oppenheimer justifies it because of the whole like someone saying at the beginning, will it work?
Yeah.
We'll see
You
in 2
get
hours,
it,
and then exactly 2 hours later.
But it could have
it's
been
like,
summed up. The last half an hour,
Summed
45
up.
minutes of that film, you already knew what was going to happen. You're like,
I think as long as they are anything Hobbit, Lord of the Rings is long, but I think it should be that long.
Yeah,
I
because
think
Yeah, the Hobbit
perfect.
fully just.
Yeah.
it's dependent
No,
on
yeah,
the
for
plot.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
dependent on the plot.
Like,
Solely on
I
that.
think
the-
There's some Marvel films that are like 2.5 hours long. And
It's
I'm like,
like,
why?
Yeah.
no,
It's just
some Marvel films are just yap.
most
Yeah.
Marvel films are discussion scene, CGI fight, discussion scene. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. CGI fight. It's just
I hate
like,
that.
you know.
I hate that. That's so
It's
true.
so
That
accurate.
Thanos guy's
Like,
like,
so-
One of some of my favorite videos are when they get films and they write them in the MCU style. Like, what was the one where Oppenheimer, when they set off the bomb, and goes, "Well, that just happened."
Oh shit. Sorry.
Ah.
Did you turn your phone
You
off?
stinker.
It is. It was an alarm.
It
don't
should have
think-
woken up at 6 o'clock.
I think
but-
Oppenheimer
Yeah.
justified it because obviously, yeah, you're waiting for the nuclear bomb. Spoilers, well, where's the nuclear bomb? But like after
What?
the film, like it shows like his mental state deteriorating because of what he created. So I think
Yeah.
it does, you know,
Yeah.
it's very
Come
important.
there.
Yeah.
I think it purely depends on if the story needs it.
Yeah,
True.
Because like you said, you need that time to in order to like properly tell the story, or if it's slow pacing just to get the emotion across.
Yeah.
Understandable. But if it's just adding dialogue and stuff for the sake of it, it's just like
it's like Killers of the Flower Moon was, I think, about 3 hours.
It
And
was-
fucking hell, it didn't have to be
yeah.
No. It was a
Yeah.
good film, but it's not needed that long.
that. Half
No,
the,
see that's the thing. Like if you just cut out like half an hour of just useless drivel,
Beautiful.
or it's
yeah,
cinematographers who like really want these like long shots, and you're like, why am I staring at this for an extra like 30 seconds when I don't need it?
Yeah. Like I got it was good by the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Now move on.
It's like, what's wrong?
And Batman versus Superman was just however long it is too long.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, 1 minute
Second.
too long.
1 minute too long. But yeah, I think for this week we have done this week's episode.
Woo.
We've done our sections.
It's been a long one. This.
It's actually been a long one, you
Yeah.
know, because we've had
Almost
bits
2
of-
hours.
Almost 2 hours. So for the first, when you're hearing this one, you obviously would have heard the first one.
It's not exactly a halfway through break, is it?
No, not really.
No.
But as of next week, because you've only been hearing the audio, we will be having the cameras on as well.
Yes.
You'll be able to see our beautiful faces.
Yes.
There.
We
Also,
might get
we've
bored
been-
and
we've
release
been
the actual
trying-
footage we've lost.
yeah, literally, we've been
Yeah.
trying, but it's been a
Yeah,
few
we've been
hours.
trying.
That's
but
gonna be
we've had
paywalled.
issues. Like
Patreon.
we had to stop 25 minutes into this one to sort something, and then it was
Yeah.
the same last time.
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully.
And it's just
soon-
growing pains, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
We're just gonna go with it as
Of course,
we go
yeah.
along.
Starting off podcast, it's not going to be clean sailing, is it? So
No. Also, for next week, as of next week, either every other week or so, we're going to be having a guest. Next week, we're having a guest, and we'll go more into that. You'll see more on our Instagram about our guest. Ooh.
Who is it?
Because of this guest, we will be having a Lord of the Rings and Hobbit section for next week.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
excited for that.
I will
Um,
be out of that. 'cause
yeah.
I have not watched either or read the books.
We'll have
My-
a section on that. We'll also just be like including them with everything as well.
Yeah.
A few weeks after that, we're going to have some cinematographers who are going to come in and talk about some filmy stuff that they're doing
Sweet.
and stuff like that. But we'll let you know on Instagram beforehand, whatever. If you guys could go over to our Instagram, the Friends Watch Film Podcast Instagram, give us some hot takes, give us some questions, anything you want us to talk about, and we'll go off of that. But thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed, and we shall see you all next week.